yeah. Nothing can stop me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find no better one, yeah. Susceptible now, before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find no better one. Susceptible now, before the moment flies.
All right. It is Friday night, drink in hand, and tonight a drink is a must. If you are not drinking something tonight on Friday night, drink in hand, I don't know what you're doing. I'm telling you guys, yeah, this is an episode for the books. I mean, we've had a lot of great episodes on this show, a lot of good ones. But when it comes to this particular episode, Friday night drink in hand, you need a drink. I suggest that in the next few minutes, you go get a smoothie. I don't care if you get warmed up milk. I don't care. Let me get comfortable. I don't care if you get warmed up milk for this particular episode. I do not care if you got your favorite elixir. I'm drinking a little bit of aguardiente, Colombian aguardiente, with a little bit of tea. For those of you that don't know, when you buy drinks at the clubs in Colombia, you take the drink home afterwards. So this drink is about 130,000 pesos. When you get done doing the bottle service, when you're doing the bottle service and you're doing the in the VIP section, this drink is only 130. This big bottle is only 130,000 pesos. Let's divide that by 4. That's a little bit over what, 40 bucks, 30 bucks, 35 bucks. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. You're looking at about 35 bucks for this right here, bottle service, VIP. How much are you paying for bottle service and VIP in the States? In your state, put in the comment section, how much would VIP service cost you in your state right now in the United States? Right now, put it in the comment section right now. I want to hear what you guys have to say, because tonight is Friday night, drinks in hand. And you're going to need one for this one, because there's so many things that you haven't even heard on social media that we're going to talk about today regarding tonight's topic. And many of you assume that tonight's topic is about Sean Puffy Combs, aka P. Diddy, and the accusations that have come out over the last few months, as well as the video that came out on CNN today. And we know that that video was leaked out on purpose, whether it be by the federal government, whether it be by the State Department, whoever had it, leaked it at the right time. But it's not about Diddy. This particular episode has nothing to do, very little just to do with Diddy. This episode today is called, or is about, before you move to another country, passport bros, blue book gentlemen, passport cartel, as well as enlightened men. Shout out to Austin Holloman and his group. Do not get in your own way. In the book, Psychology of Money, I didn't even know this. In the book, Psychology of Money, excellent book, right? I didn't know this. That, and I hope you guys can see me and hear me correctly. Let me make sure I double check on everything. Shout out to everybody in the building so far, thus far. Let me double check, make sure that you guys can, oh yeah, that's looking good. Audio's looking good, video's looking good. In the book, Psychology of Money, I didn't know this. Did you know that the billionaire, convicted billionaire, Bernie Madoff, who had the world's largest Ponzi scheme since the guy who they named the scheme after, Ponzi, Bernie Madoff ran off with like what, $65 billion. Here's the crazy part when I say don't get in your own way. Bernie Madoff was making $25 to $50 million a year legally. This man was already rich enough. And he was on his way to making $100 million a year legally. But like many of us do, including Puffy, we allow certain aspects of our lives to come into our lives and interrupt all the hard work that we put in. So that $25 to $50 million a year that Bernie Madoff was making meant nothing, because he'd rather create something that was going to interrupt his life, which was his Ponzi scheme. He got $65 billion, but look at what he ended up the rest of his life. For the rest of his life. All that just to go to prison. He became a billionaire for a few years to go to prison for the rest of his life when he was making $25 million a year. What am I saying? When it comes to us who are travelers, this is very important. Bernie Madoff's example, the example of others, as well as P. Diddy. This is not just about Diddy, guys. I'm not going to come here and talk about what Diddy did. We're going to showcase all that. I got a lot of video to show you guys. But I'm here, first of all, to show you guys that don't get in your own way. You sit back, you put in so many hours at work, all you truck drivers, all you third shifters, all you guys that are blue collar and white collar, you put in so much work because you told yourself within the next 5 months, 5 years, or even 15 years, you're moving to DR. You're moving to Colombia. Thailand, here I come. And what ends up happening? Within that window, you get in your own damn way. So we're going to talk about and we're going to showcase my man, P. Diddy, and how he's an example to you of, after all your hard work, make sure, gentlemen, if you get anything from this episode today, don't get in your own way. If life is going good, cool. Bringing that female in that you might end up getting pregnant while you're in the States, that ain't cool. If you ain't never smoked weed before, shout out to all you weed smoking brothers, right? But if you 40 and you ain't never smoked weed, leave weed alone. It ain't your thing. If you ain't never drank before, if your brother is not a drinker, just because a bad chick comes your way and she's got one glass and she's got another glass, you don't have to drink that. Don't get in your own way. With this whole episode, everything that you're going to see about Diddy, don't forget the theme. Don't get in your own way, because literally, this is what Diddy did. A dude that was worth at one point in time $700 million, no issues, no problems, and he got in his own way. But let's get ready to do these shout outs with you guys. Shout out to you guys that are here in the building representing. We got the smooth music in the background. First person in here is my man, Don, aka the Don DP. Or JP. Shout out to you, brother. He said, "What's up, big bro?" Andrea. Good evening, all in the chat. Dragon fruit and blueberry smoothie in hand. See, I don't care what you drink. Just don't have me drinking by myself. I don't care if it's a smoothie, a cup of coffee. I don't care if it's bottled water. I don't care if it's your favorite protein drink. Just don't have me drinking by myself, fellas. Don't have your boy on Friday night drinking by myself. Shout out to you guys. We're going to wait till a few more people get in here. We got 41 in the building. Make sure you click that like button, because we already know
Oprah coming next.
Oprah's coming next.
Once I establish this as a place of truth.
Hey, sexy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey, sexy boo. You want to say hi to everybody while you're standing right here? You're looking all cute. You looking good, like always. Long, beautiful, flowing hair.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I look like the sun, all shiny.
Yes, you do. You do look shiny and beautiful.
What you drink? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Good. Hello, everyone. I hope that you guys having a really great Friday. Almost ended this month.
Countdown, countdown.
Yes, sir. What are you guys talking about?
We are talking about Diddy. And don't get in your own way like Diddy did. You about to knock over the light behind you, baby.
I'm sorry.
With all that big booty.
It is what it is. But yeah, Diddy is his comment section on Instagram is just like way too savage.
So yeah, Instagram and TikTok, they killing him.
Yes, sir. Yeah, but it is what it is. All that truth coming out.
All the truth coming out, just like Cat Williams said.
Yeah, okay. Everyone having a good time with your boy. Finally back.
All right, guys.
This is the one that I gave you?
Yeah, this is. See how good that looks? Yeah. See how good that looks? All right. Shout out to Mrs. Spence in the building. Shout out to Mrs. Spence in the building. Mrs. Andrea Spence. That's a beautiful lady. All right, guys. Like I said, put in the comment section how much you would pay for bottle service in your state. You get VIP, you get how much is there? Because in Colombia, you get, like I said, you take the bottle home after you get done. If it's alcohol left, you take the bottle home. This is the average price for a bottle of aguardiente in Colombia. So about $35. The VIP section might cost you like $10, $15 to get into VIP. And you have a great time. I think the most that I paid for VIP here in Cali was maybe $50 to get into VIP in a particular spot. But shout out to you guys being here this fine evening. Mr. Darkest, the Navigator, is in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, in the building. Shout out to you, 54 people in here. Click that like button. We like you. We really do. Make sure you like us too. He say, all right, Brother Dre, take them to church with this one. We are. Because this video is going to showcase a lot of Diddy, but I'm letting you guys know, don't consider or only think about Diddy on this particular episode. A lot of stuff that they don't even talk about on other Remember this. These are federal investigations on Diddy. I did 10 years in the feds, and I still follow the federal laws, the guidelines, the changes, the shifts that goes on. After 30 years of being out of the feds, it was about 30. Going on 30 years. It's 27 years. 27 years being out of the feds and still studying the federal laws and the guidelines and the changes. And I still get the magazine, it's in an email now, Prison Fellowship. I still get Prison Fellowship magazine like I was getting it when I was in prison. I haven't stopped keeping up with my brothers and sisters that are still locked up. So if anybody could tell you outside of an attorney, a federal attorney or investigator, I can tell you, first of all, yes, Diddy is going to jail. So let's get that one out of the way. We're going to talk about the details in a second. He's going to jail. The feds have a 98% conviction rate. Like we always say in the feds don't waste any ink. They don't waste ink. What do we mean by that? When the federal government hits the printer button and it prints out the indictments, they don't waste that ink. That ink is not wasted when the federal government prints out an indictment and hand it to the investigators. The warrants aren't. They've got everything that they wanted. They take their time. That's why everything has come out in public right now, because they took their time for years, sat on information. That's how the feds works. The states try to catch you. The feds investigate you. I'm gonna say this again. The states try to catch you. Oh, they'll have their cars parked down the street and they'll do a little investigation. But not like the feds. Feds will sit back for years. They will sit on evidence for years. And if they can't get you over here, they'll get you over there. Shout out to Al Capone, Scarface. They couldn't get him for any of the racketeering cases. They couldn't get him for any of the drugs. They couldn't get him for any of the prostitution. They couldn't get him for anything that was illegal that he was doing other than tax evasion. Other than tax evasion. But that's all they needed was to put him away. Tax evasion. And he died in prison dealing with syphilis. This is the same scenario with many of us. If they can't get you over here on this, how it was for me. They couldn't get me over here on this part. They couldn't get me over here on that part. But they were like, okay, cool. We can't get you on the guns. We can't get you on this. We can't get you on that. We can't get you on on the drugs. But we can get you on conspiracy, meaning that just because we didn't catch you, Andre, with yours, doesn't mean that we didn't catch one of your boys with his, and you were there that night when the snitch saw him with his. That's conspiracy at that time period. So just because we didn't catch none of your cakes, Andre, cool. We didn't catch none of your artillery, Andre, cool. But you was sitting there having a drink, literally having a drink when your boys were doing what they were doing with their cakes. And since you were there that night when everything went down, and you got so many numbers in your past, because remember I had all state crimes that I was fighting as well. So I'm already fighting state crimes as it is in Indiana and Ohio. Then all of a sudden I get caught up on a federal investigation. So they were like, oh yeah, we're about to give you a 10-piece in a biscuit. We're about to give you 10 years and 5. Sit on down, Andre. So if anybody can tell you how federal indictments, how the federal government works, and how Diddy will go, there is no, well, he's got connections. Do you know how many people that I know that were in the feds that have connections? I mean, some of the most powerful people are in the feds right now. Moguls are in the feds right now. Senators, politicians, other politicians are in the feds right now. Strong, powerful businessmen are in the feds right now. Some of your favorite football players that got caught up on stuff that you haven't heard from in the feds right now. What's my point? All of our problems was this. Many of us, including me, I'm supposed to be down in this is the crazy part. I was supposed to be down in Atlanta. I wasn't even supposed to be up there when the investigation started. I'm supposed to be in Atlanta. I take my happy butt somewhere I ain't supposed to be. In other words, I got in my own way. And that's what Diddy's done with this whole situation. That's what Bernie Madoff had did with his life. He got in his own way, created a Ponzi scam, made $65 million. Now he's going to be in jail for the rest of his life. All these things because we have a habit as people, especially as men, getting in our own way. That's what this show is about. So we're going to watch a lot of footage from Diddy, but I'm going to let you guys know you do not want to make the mistake of getting in your own way, or you'll end up in a situation where you cannot relocate to another country like you already planned on doing. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to my man Tevin King being in the building as well. Shout out to you. He said it's a wrap for the music mogul. There's no going back after this. There is no going back. There is no going back. He said this dude Diddy said that take that for real, and take some of these and some of those. Shout out to my man in the building, the black Nubian, the Canadian boys at it again.
I told this guy where I was from. He said, "Oh, Canada."
Yeah, Diddy doing the wrong.
You're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. Stop paying people that you don't have no respect for.
Diddy is part of the problem. Every time we try to bust our butt as people of color to take life to a whole nother level, to not emulate what our brothers and sisters of the past had done, and we've got some positive examples, even some of those examples let us down. Some of those examples are part of the problem. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to my man Top Gun in the building. Shout out to you, brother, for being here. Shout out to you for being here. I'm glad to see you here. Glad to see you here. Glad to see all you guys here.
It feels so lovely to be here tonight. What a beautiful, give yourselves a round of applause.
Give yourselves a round of applause.
And while you're in the clapping mood, I'd like to give a big round of applause to my band, Sexual Chocolate.
Shout out to Sexual Chocolate. Shout out to all you guys here tonight.
Sexual Chocolate.
Shout out to all you guys here
Don't
tonight.
you agree?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, my man Black Scorpion says, he say, all right. Yes, sir. Shout out to you. Shout out to Philip being in the building as well. In a few minutes, we're going to get started with the videos, that you've already seen of Diddy. We're going to do a breakdown. And actually, you know what? I need to go get something too. I'm going to, in a second. So while the video is going, I'm going to go grab something as well. Actually, I need Andre to grab it. Give me a second, guys. Okay. Yeah, let's see. That's the one. Thank you guys for a split second of your time. This moment is important. That's the baby. That's it. Yeah, she is gorgeous and expensive. I will take care of her. I'm just leave it right there for me. Yes, just leave it right there for me. Thank you very much, babe. I meant to ask you for it earlier. All right, guys, as I was saying, so we got my man Michael in the building. Shout out to you, Michael, for being here. Shout out to you, and my man David's in the building as well. We must be doing something right tonight. We got David in the building, and we got my man Black Empowerment 01 in the building. Shout out to you, brother, for being here. He said, my fellow barbershop brothers, yes, this barbershop talk. Grown folks, grown men having a grown conversation. Don't get in your own way on your journey to relocate to other countries, guys. Man, what would disappoint me more than anything is not that you guys don't have enough money to stay in a country. You can always make enough money. But the fact that you put yourself in a situation right before you get ready to move to another country, you get some chick pregnant. You do some stupid Diddy stuff. Come on, let's be real, guys. This barbershop talk, right? We're going to be real with it tonight. I'm telling you guys, pour yourself a drink. I already told you, we're going to watch the Diddy videos. And you're going to discover some stuff they ain't even talk about on social media right now. There's some stuff that I found. Dude, this thing is going deeper, way deeper than Diddy. Goodness gracious, this is crazy. You're going to need a drink in hand. You're going to need some bottled water. You're going to need something, I'm telling you, tonight. If you think that I've been doing YouTube for 5 years with over 250,000 people, subscribers, over 5 channels, that none of y'all have performed or are performing some form of domestic violation or domestic, let's put it like this, domestic selfishness on some woman, that you'd have put your hands on some female because you was insecure, you wasn't a man about yourself, you was trying to control the scenario, you was jealous because she broke up with you or that you found out that she cheated on you or still cheating on you. You wanted to be controlling. If you think that over 250,000 subs ain't none of y'all touch nobody, y'all must think I'm Tom Tucker, that dumb mother. What I'm saying is, if you really plan on taking your life to the next level, gentlemen, we got to get out of our own damn way. We got to get out of our own way. Your life can be doing some amazing things. It's great right now. It's about to become greater. It's amazing right now, but it's about to become phenomenal. And you doing some stuff that's going to get in your own way. Don't do what Diddy doing, bruh. Do not get in your own way. That's what tonight's topic is about. Shout out to my man Philip D in the building. Shout out to you, kind sir, for being here. I appreciate you. And Style King is in the building. Always got to be stylish. I hope I'm looking stylish for you tonight, Style King. Hope I'm looking stylish, brother. Shout out to you being here this evening. And Ellis, always like the video. Yes, sir. Shout out to my brothers letting us know to like that video. We got 74 people in the building thus far. We got my uncle in the building, so must be doing something right.
You better back the fuck up out my face, goddammit. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Don't play with me.
Them Detroit boys at it again. They're at it again, Mom. They're at it again. My man Ronald Pratt in the building once more. Greed and egoism. Yes, that's all it is. The Bible says this: the eyes of a man is never full. We'll never see enough money. We'll never own enough property. We'll never be able to. We have to control this because we'll never be able to smash enough women. Never. You could be from Bishop Jakes to Bishop T.D. Long, Bishop T.D. Jakes, to Eddie Long. You ain't got your eye. Well, Eddie Long was different because he was messing with them boys. But at the end of the day, the eyes of a man is never full. You're gonna always see somebody fine. That's why I always say you will never see the finest woman you've ever seen in Brazil. Because soon as you say that, it's going to be somebody finer than her or just as fine walking by. You will never see the finest woman you've ever seen in Colombia, Cambodia, anywhere in Africa. This is the finest woman I've ever seen. Wait about 15 minutes, brother. Because if her DNA is walking around that country, that means there's more walking around her country that look just like her. Don't never think that the DNA that she got is the only person that has that DNA. Bet you she got cousins and mamas and everybody and aunties that look just as good as she does. The eyes of a man is never full. That's why I say let's not make sure that we don't make the mistake of getting our own way, because yes, that greed and ego is there within our being. That's what makes us accomplish things, but that can also hurt us as men. Shout out to my man, my brother Kenny, people in the building. Shout out to Kenny. Run, Diddy, run. Hey, man, listen. I know one thing. Russell Simmons sitting back, look, in Bali, of all places. One of the most beautiful places in the world. And all Russell is saying one thing. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. I'm sweating because I just jumped out the shower. But couldn't be me. And I feel Russell. My man Morning Drive Coffee Break is in the building as well. Oh, we doing something right. E-Man is in the building. He say no Diddy. No Diddy. Shout out to my man Twan. Salute Andres. I'm ready for this show. Shout out to you guys that are showing up. We got 82 in the building. We're about to get ready in a split second. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes for guys to come on in, because I don't want guys to miss out on the beginning of the video as well as all the other excerpts we got in the middle. Man, we got a lot of information regarding this Diddy situation. It's not just about what dropped on the news today. We kind of had an assumption anyway. But I'm going to let you guys know, bruh, there's a lot more behind the scenes, behind the Diddy of the Diddy that we've either forgot about or we didn't even know about. Let me push that seat up in. Cologne of the night is the Jean Paul's Ultra Male. Excellent cologne. You guys often hear me say that, but Jean Paul's DNA is so different from everybody else's. You know that you're wearing it. There are very few. He has about 7 to 10 colognes, and this Ultra Male, and their original one was created by Francis Jean Kirkton, the same guy that went off on his own and created Baccarat 540 and that brand. And he did all that working with them when he was young, like in his early 20s. He started working for them and making their formula for them. And then he broke off from Jean Paul, and start creating the Baccarat 440 brands and so forth and so forth. Shout out to my man. So that's the cologne of the night. And also Jean Paul's cologne for the night also is Scandal. As you guys can see, I broke my little cross off the top, but Scandal is the other one. And you could tell that his DNA, man, their DNA is familiar. So no matter which one you get, you know that you get it. But it is a very clean, out the shower scent. That's the part I like about all of these brands. So clean, so you feel so refreshed. You feel like your day is starting. You can wear it day or evening. You can wear it to the club. You can wear it for sexing. You can wear it for sleep. Meditation, whatever you need. I kid you not. And we have also in the videos that you're watching right now, we have also a few colognes that you guys will enjoy as well. So if you go click that area where it says product on your screen, or if you just on your cell phone, all you got to do is just click on the X and your comment section will drop down and you'll see all those good colognes that your boy picked out for you that I know you're going to like, that I got in the collection. Shout out to the Toon Knight. He says this: talk to us, blessing to you, Andre. Life on the up and down, or was life on the up and up. He said, women in the States game crazy. I've been in hiding. Yes, keep yourself on monk mode, man. Focus on what you need to focus on to take your life to the next level, man. Listen, there's a lot of dudes that's gonna end up like Diddy, man, in situations that they're gonna regret. Let's get started with the video. Shout out to you guys that are here once again. We're gonna pull up this video. We're gonna start with the video of what took place on the news. CNN dropped this, and then we're gonna go into further details. But let's get started. Shout out to my man, poor man 313 in the building.
You better back the fuck up out my face, goddammit. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Don't play with me.
Don't play with that, man. Shout out to him and Big Dave and Chalupe in the building. Shout out to you. He said, I don't pay for it. Florida today. He said, but it depends on the day of the week. Shout out to you, brother. Yeah, champagne. Yes, see, some of these prices, you guys are coming on some heavy prices to do VIP in some of your states. But let's get started with the video. Yeah, Bernie was on his way to $100 million a year. He was already making Bernie Madoff was making $25 million a year legally. He had already made it up to $50 million a year legally, and decided to start scamming. I know we're going to get started with the video, but I want you guys to think about that. You're making $25 million a year legally. You've made it up to $50 million a year legally. The stats had already shown that you were on your way to $100 million a year legally. And Bernie Madoff decided to create a Ponzi scam. What did I mean by that? He got in his own way. Same thing with Diddy. Most of these indictments and convictions that they're trying to bring, most of them aren't really about the business. It's about his personal life. Most of what's on social media is not about Diddy's business. It's about Diddy's personal behavior. Getting in your own way will kill you every time, brothers. Every single time. Let's not get in our own ways. Let's get back to the video now. Before we go any further, the reason why I stopped to bring Andrea in is if you look at the bottom left of that area, I didn't realize this. Andrea owns that exact purse, that exact same purse that she has. Andrea owns that purse. That same, I was like, what do I recognize that purse for? And bruh, I'm telling you, it's expensive, bruh. Yeah. This expensive. Yeah, I'm sitting up there looking like, wait a minute, I know that. Wait a minute. I'm looking at the situation because I watched the video several times, and I'm looking at, wait a minute, that purse, that's the same expensive purse that Andrea got.
At a Los Angeles hotel settled the next day.
Sadly, see how she just laid there as if she was trying to be like, she's been through this before. She knew to just lay there. Shout out to all you guys once again for the super chats and the cash apps that are coming through. Shout out to you. Support the channel. Thank you very much. Support the channel. Let's pause right there in regards to getting in your own way. You see what I'm saying? You're worth $700 million, but everything you do is you getting in your own damn way. Some of you guys have good jobs, but you're doing stuff off the job that's going to cause you to get in your own damn way. Some of us who have business opportunities, some of us who have retired, you're really planning on relocating to another country. You have to make sure that you aren't doing things. I'm not saying doing things like Diddy, but what I'm saying is if you never wrapped it up in the States and you plan on moving outside the United States and you didn't go on monk mode, you got a couple of chicks that you still smash in the United States, bruh, do yourself a favor. Before you move, I know you don't like to fill in the condoms. I don't give up. You need to wrap it up. You need to wrap it up. The last thing you need to do, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, is to be getting somebody pregnant at this stage of life when you're trying to focus on relocating to another country. So it shows that Diddy tried to drag her, allegedly. Allegedly, as from what we see, that might not be Diddy, so let's just say allegedly. And then it looks like she got away. She got to a phone. I don't see why she didn't try to get to an elevator or some stairs. The last thing I would have thought about was in a horror movie trying to get to a phone, but she might be panicking. So she's in a hallway phone. I'd have been hitting on that elevator door. Hitting on that elevator or looking for some stairs. Or I'd have been knocking on some people's door. All those hotel rooms ain't no doors being knocked on. I'd have knocked on every door running down that hall. Everybody's door would have got knocked on. It would have been a knockathon. I'd have just been having a knockathon, knocking on doors, running down the hall from this fool. Number 2, I didn't know that a man could run that fast in a towel. Is it just me, or am I the only one that caught how fast Diddy was moving in a towel? That towel didn't move. Shout out to the towel manufacturing company of Chippewa, Kansas, that manufactured the towel in which Diddy was. He was running faster than Cat Williams down that hallway. I thought Diddy was in an NFL combine as fast as he ran down that hall. Shout out to the towel manufacturers in Chippewa, Kansas. We got 100 people in the building. Make sure you click that like button when you come in, guys. We like you. Make sure you like us too. Let's get back to the video.
Now,
before we go any further, do realize now we see that it's not as if it was another woman under that hood. A. B. It wasn't as if we don't have a clear photo that that's not Diddy or not. We know that's Diddy. No clothes on. No clothes on. You could with just a towel. You could tell that this dude probably jumped in the shower. While he was in the shower, come on, let's be real, OJs. While he was in the shower, she decided to start packing stuff and leave. He hear the door close. Instead of her having some sense, slowly leaving out of there, he hears the door close while he in the shower. He wraps the towel around here. He throwing on the jets like the NFL combine, catches her by the elevator. Like I said, if it was me, I'd have been knocking on every door coming through there. Coming through there. I ain't hear her yelling for no help. Nothing. But Diddy caught up with her. We saw that part. And so it was easy. This is the part I want to go back to right here. Let's go here.
In coming forward to bring this to light. The video hasn't been seen publicly before.
Bam. When you see that hoodie come off Cassie, it verified that she wasn't lying. We all knew it, but to actually see it, all these NFL players that we always saw doing things in elevators, Jay-Z getting caught up in the elevator. So it is, we got another elevator incident, but just outside the elevator. Before we go any further, just think about it. We just saw Diddy standing there with the key to the city of New York. We know not everybody in life gets the key to the city of New York. New York, New York. This man had accomplished so much. That's why I keep going back to the fact, guys, do remember, this is not about Diddy. If you want to see or talk about Diddy, you can go to another channel. This is all about us staying out of our own way. Look at what all Diddy had accomplished. But all the stupidity that takes place other than your money that you're making could F your life up just as fast as being broke. I'm going to say this again. You ain't catch that. You got $1 million dude and you got a broke dude right here, right? You can do stuff with your life at $1 million that could be equivalent to, you might as well not have any money at all because you about to lose it all. You might as well have been the broke dude all those years. Why be in a music mogul for 30 years if you're going to do what a broke dude does? Why would you put yourself in a situation where you can have women of any walks from anywhere in the world, from many walks of life, and you want to make power moves over one chick? All you domestic violator dudes, I'm talking to you. I don't get it. We did an episode yesterday with all these beautiful women that are willing to share. Nothing but share bears around the world. I don't see how you dudes are trying to control one chick. And most of the time, y'all be beating on women that are not that attractive. Y'all ain't even trying to hold on to something sexy. Y'all try to beat down and hurt the worst. And then when you do get something sexy like Diddy, you ruin it. And you ruin everything else. Don't get in your own way. That's what the theme of this show is, man. Let's go back. Let's get to the next part.
You could indict a ham sandwich, but the Southern District of New York has a 98.2 conviction rate.
Now, he's talking about the federal department there in New York, not just the State Department. 98.2 conviction rate. Like I said, they don't waste any ink. When they say you are indicted, you have a 98.2% chance. I said 98.5, but he says 98.2% chance of being convicted. That's why we know Diddy going down. That it's too many snitches. It's too much evidence. They just released. If they don't use no other evidence, let's say no other evidence comes out, nothing. If they just use that CNN video, if they just use that video, Diddy can be convicted by the feds.
All right, for those who don't know, if you got 100 people, only 1.28 or something like that, 98 point, you have 1.8. Only 1.8 has won against them. So now, what they do, they already got the witnesses, they already got the people, because let me just say something. With the sex trafficking thing, it only takes one witness to convince the jury. One witness. And we know who that witness is going to be. Cass.
Before we go any further with that, he's absolutely correct. Most of the convictions with the federal government, take it from me, even in my case, all it took was one person to get on that stand and snitch. It don't take a bunch of snitches, guys. I'm gonna say this again. When it comes to the federal government, when you got the DA, now let's look at the whole scenario. You got the FBI looking at you. The ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. And you got the FBI looking at you. This Diddy. And it was me. I know exactly what Diddy is going through. Exactly what he's going through. And you got that doesn't include the federal judges, the federal prosecutor, and all the other investigators that are coming against you. All it takes is one snitch. They've already built all the paperwork case. They've got all the videos. I kid you not. When they kicked in our doors, they didn't come for us first. I'm going to say this again. When they kicked in our doors, they did not come for us first. They ran past us. They had a team that ran past us and a second wave that came in for us. What was the team that ran past us doing? They ran straight to the safes. They took all the photos off the walls. Any pictures and videos that they could find, that's what the first wave was looking for. The second wave came in, and they were the ones that laid us on the kitchen floors and all that. Remember, I said I tried to jump out the window in the kitchen, and the police officer was waiting out there. Federal officer, wait, don't do it, son. He had police dogs and everything out there. And I never forget, I'm ready to jump out the kitchen window like I'm SWAT. And as soon as I put my foot on that kitchen sink and I'm standing on the sink, it's federal investigators coming up the basement stairs. They've been in the basement the whole morning. Because anybody that's up from up north, you know you got that little basement window. They had already climbed into the basement window, been waiting in the basement all morning, waiting for the cue to come on upstairs. We sitting up there watching Rap City back in the day. Shout out to Rap City. I'm standing on the kitchen sink, ready to jump out the window. Federal officer SWAT team is right there, guns in hand. And all I heard was one officer, son, don't do it. Don't do it, son. Don't do it. You don't want to do that, young. Don't do it. All I knew was to bag back. I look behind me. I'm hearing the rumbles of the basement stairs. So I know that sound. Feds coming up through the basement. Feds already in the house from the living room. Everybody in the living room, the ladies are screaming. You know, you got the lady friends there. All the ladies are screaming and yelling at the top of their lungs. And what ends up happening? All of us end up face down on the floor. I'm looking at the chick that I'm dating face to face down, getting handcuffs. She looking at me like, what have you gotten me into? And I'm looking at her like, what have I gotten me into? I'll say that again. She's looking at me. We're facing each other. Like they've got her in one room. I'm in the kitchen on the floor, but we just so happen to be facing each other. And she's looking at me like, what have you got me into? And I'm thinking to myself, what have I gotten myself into? I got in my own way. I had already made my money in one state. I was already beating my cases for the state cases. I was fine. I'm on my way to Atlanta with a I was economically sound. I'm going to Atlanta to relocate, start a new life because I got money now, a lot of money, and I'm going to college. That was my goal. I'm out of the game. I'm done. But let me stop by in Indiana and say what's up to my boys. I got some nerdy dudes down there. They ain't doing nothing. Come to find out that these dudes were some of the biggest in the years that I was gone. These dudes end up going from being nerdy to some of the biggest ballers in Indiana. And I didn't know it. And so even though I was thinking I was getting away with one group of crimes, I'm walking right into another scene of criminal activity and end up doing 10 years in the feds, including running my state time because the states was like, oh, you guilty. If the feds found you guilty, Andre, you guilty of all the state crimes too. So now I got like 3 states, Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio, state cases and a federal conviction. So at the end of the day, he's absolutely correct. He's absolutely correct when it comes to all it takes is just one person to get on that stand and say, that's him. Let's continue on.
Now, you might recall that we previously reported on a huge lawsuit filed against Combs by his ex-girlfriend Cassandra Ventura back on November 16, 2023. At the time, Ventura alleged that Combs physically and sexually abused her, including forcing her into sexual slavery and sex trafficking.
Absolutely.
And some of the
at that time period, let's pause it right there. This was early 2023. Right after he tried to do it, think about it. Many of us already consider the conspiracy theory of Diddy tried to do what Jay-Z did, try to get this business deal with the liquor company, and it went well for Jay-Z. So Diddy thought he could do the same thing with Ciroc. It didn't turn out right, and all of a sudden all hell broke loose with Diddy. But whether that was going to happen anyway or not, Cassie knew that her window of opportunity to sue him civically or criminally was closing. We're going to watch that video. I'm going to remember this, guys. A lot of guys don't know this. Cassie only had 1 year to do what she was going to do. There's a statute of limitation in regards to what she was going to charge him with criminally or civilly. She only had 1 year, and time was winding down to put everything together and put the law team out, put them dogs on him. So let's go into that.
More alarming allegations in that federal lawsuit included Combs allegedly raping Ventura in her home after she tried to leave him, savagely beating her, resulting in bruises and burst lips, forcing her to have sex with prostitutes on video while he watched and masturbated, forced her to carry a gun for him, and tried to chase down music producer Suge Knight with a gun. Even she accused him of blowing up rapper Kid Cudi's car because he found out that Cudi was interested in Ventura.
You see these several things that were taking place at that time period. She said the things that he did to her and tried to do to other people. All that is you getting in your own way. You find out that somebody likes your girl. Bruh. Hey, fellas. If we had $1 for every time, or a dime for every time we saw somebody look at one of our girls like they like our girlfriend or attracted to our girlfriend or that they thought about our girl. If every time I had a dime for every time somebody in some country looked at Andrea like, dang, you know how rich I would be? You know how rich you would be if we attacked or if we got a dime for just a dime for every time somebody looked at one of our girls like, dang, his girl fine. And I'm not just talking about dudes. Today, your woman could be fine in this era, and females would try to take your woman. So to sit up there and try to attack Kid Cudi because I found out that he liked my woman. Cassie is an attractive woman. What you doing, dude? Don't get in your own way also means, guys, when you get to another country, I mean this, and you have an attractive woman, if you're not used to being with attractive women, you might want to decide to go to another country or get you a 6 or a 3 in that country. Get you a 4, Colombian 4, which is better than the American 7. Don't get you a Colombian 9 and 10, a Colombian 8. You think I'm lying, right? There's a white boy right now in jail in Colombia right now for deleting that attractive Colombian DJ. Why? Because we already know that nerdy white boy was not accustomed to being with a hot chick like that. We already knew that. And there's a lot of dudes that's been drugged and robbed because they ain't used to being with sexy. So they had to have sexy that first night and that only night. Let's be real. Let's be real. Forget about the drink for right now. Some of y'all may need to take a sip right now, come to think of it. There are dudes in Colombia that have been robbed and drugged, disrespected, and left for deceased in your own urine. In your own Airbnb, in your own hotel room, because you don't know how to handle sexy. You don't know how to tell sexy, no, we'll go to a separate hotel room. We ain't going to my Airbnb. That ain't gonna happen, sexy. You don't know how to do that, bruh. You don't know how to tell sexy, no, I'm not, no. You're not gonna make me a drink. I make my own drink. You don't know how to tell sexy, no, I'm not splurging money on you, but you go throw money in the air at the club for sexy. Some of you dudes ain't used to sexy. You get in your own way. You get in your own way. You an embarrassment. Diddy. See, we all as black men are embarrassed by Diddy. Why? Because you know these black women, especially the divestors, are going to come out of the woodworks. See, this is what black men do. You can't blame this on just white men because white men don't do us like that. Even though we know white brothers do that as well. No matter what race you are, this could happen. But you know the divestors and all the sisters that are anti-brother dating that are going to come out the woodwork, and they're going to use this. See, this is what the black man does. This is what he does. It don't matter who you are. You can be the lead attorney who's an innocent dude. You could be Ace Live, who's a traveler. You could be Austin Holloman, a young dude. They gonna wrap all of us up and say y'all just like Diddy. All of y'all. Every one of y'all Diddy-ish. Diddy-like. All y'all got Diddy tendencies. So it is when you go to other countries, brothers. Let's not just look and judge Diddy. If you can't handle pretty, like Cassie, Diddy couldn't handle pretty. If you can't handle pretty, why you in Brazil? If you can't handle and be wise around beautiful women, why you in Colombia? Why you in Thailand? Guess what pretty gonna do? She gonna tell other women that are beautiful, girl, when those black American men come off the plane, or when any American man comes off the plane, we can use them. Why? Them Negroes don't know nothing about pretty. They used to them fat heifers that they got back in the States. 75% of women, especially women of color, are considered overweight or obese. You can look that up. That's just a stat. That's no attack on sisters. Cameras off, that's still gonna be true. I'll say it again. Cameras off, that 70% stat is still true. And so what we end up doing, the mistake that we end up making is these women go to we end up doing something stupid and they share the information. Girl, this all you got to do with the American man. All you got to do is do this, that, this, that, and them dummies gonna fall for it. Why? Because they ain't used to nothing pretty. We mess it up for each other, fellas. We mess it up for each other. Stop getting in your own damn way. Some of you dudes come down here to Colombia, you want to blame Colombia, you want to blame the woman that drugged you. You do not want to admit you chose that bitch. Can we be real with it? Or do y'all want to go? Yeah, we all need a sip on this one. Some of y'all dudes, here's what I need y'all to do. All you sensitive brothers, I'm gonna need y'all to leave the live stream in a second, because this is about to get real. You chose her. You walked up to that pay for play. You laughed and giggled with her. You bought her a drink at the club. You walked up under the clock tower. You were the one that was in Medellin downtown grabbing the wrong chick. You brought her back to your Airbnb in your hotel that you paid for. You were the one with the condoms, right? You were the one that bought the drinks, right? You were the one that let her pour the drinks, a total stranger in your Airbnb pouring drinks. You were the one that let her convince her to allow her other friend to come over because you want to have a threesome. You were the one that got thirsty or bored. That's the reason why I'm bringing this woman over to my house or my Airbnb, because I'm kind of bored. You were the one. You were the one that wasn't even horny, but because the woman was sexy, you was like, F it, I might as well bring her over. It was you, and you never want to admit that. Yes, the women had something to do with that. Yes, the gang that trained the women to behave to get you guys as a lick, they're involved in that too. Yes, the Colombian government, who doesn't control the gangs, who control the women, who controlled you, they aren't doing their part. Absolutely correct. But it all starts with you. The buck stops here with you. The same thing with Diddy. We can't criticize our brother Diddy. We can't criticize. I wish you would sit up here and be laughing at Diddy and talking about Diddy, and you came to Colombia and you got drugged 3 months ago. I wish you would. I wish you would sit up here and try to criticize brother Diddy for what's going on in his life, but you're a Western Union poppy in DR, and you send $300 a month to some chick in DR. I wish you would try to criticize that brother. You want to laugh at him for getting in his own way, but you don't see that you getting in your own way. That's what my point is. I told y'all guys, y'all didn't want to hear this part. I told you guys that are ultra sensitive, you might want to leave right now. I told you some of you guys might want to get a sip of the drink or whatever it is that you're drinking. I tried to warn you early. I was about to bring it. It's your fault. That's why I don't sugarcoat it. That's why you'll never see me interview you dudes that get drugged. Like, oh, tell us what happened. So they drugged you. And what else happened? What? Now, am I with my man Obi Land? Shout out to Obi Land in the building. Am I with my man Obi Land when they investigate these women and catch these women for their crimes? Yes. Why? Because no matter what, these are still criminal activities. And just like in the States, I got convicted for doing my crimes. So it is in other countries. Those women need to be caught and convicted for their crimes against us. Yes, they do. I'm going to say that again. Even though it's our fault for being stupid, fresh and fit, it is still a crime. And these people still should be convicted of their crime, no matter if they're male or female. Yes. So I'm with Obi Land. I'm with all you guys. This needs to stop in Colombia as well as in the States. Y'all didn't think I was going to say that, huh? If y'all think that I'm stupid enough to not, dude, you know how much film footage that I haven't used yet of women drugging men in the States. I haven't even presented this footage yet. I got so much footage of women in the States. Dude, this is not something new in the States. It's something that's been going on in the States forever and a day. We just showed the video the other day of a guy in the States at a club. He got the Scully cap on. He's got like a sweater or shirts, a thin shirt sweater on. He's at the club. He's got a drink in his hand. Remember we showed that the other day? In front of him, the woman leans over in front of him. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Some of y'all get sprinkle, sprinkle. Sprinkle, sprinkle right in there while her friend was distracting him with conversation. Well, that could have been Colombia. Not with a Scully cap on, it could have been. You ain't never seen nobody in Colombia ever wear a Scully cap. Not even in Bogota, ever. Tourist, ever. You ain't never seen nobody, unless you go up to the snow-capped mountains here in Colombia. You ain't gonna see nobody wearing no Scully cap. That's your country, bruh. That's the United States. Sorry, bruh. That's the United States. So they sprinkling y'all over in the States. That's what the real sprinkle is. Let's get to these brothers in the super chats. Shout out to you guys supporting. Shout out to my man Kings of Dreams in the building, showing some love. He said going live tonight, right about this. He said about this. Yes, sir. But we got some deep stuff that we're gonna. Oh, this is nothing. We're just scratching the surface. What we're gonna be talking about tonight. Oh, bro, I got some stuff that's coming down the turnpike in the next few minutes. Gonna make y'all like, what? He said, high value, too highly suspect. Shaking my head. Yep, that's it. It's over, Diddy. It's done, bro. It's done. Once again, King says, men wake up. All I'm saying tonight is we have to move in a way to protect ourselves. You guys are so successful, so amazing as dudes. Your life is on a trajectory in a way that you never thought that it would go. Don't F it up. Don't F it up. That's what Diddy's story is. Don't F it up. And like I said, if you here coming to Colombia and you a Western Union poppy, you sending money to a chick that ain't your chick. If you coming to Colombia, I don't care, it ain't tricking if you got it, bruh, it's tricking. Even if you got it, it's still tricking. No matter what country you go to, it's still tricking. It's still tricking. If you getting hustled in these countries, bruh, we can't laugh at our brother Diddy, because just like Diddy is getting in his own way, that's the same thing that you doing, getting in your own way. Let's go back to the video. Let me move this Kings of Dreams comment. Let's not get in our way.
Under New York's Adult Survivors Act, that was a law that gave survivors of sexual assault a 1-year window to file lawsuits if their claims were otherwise time barred under the statute of limitations.
Remember I said, now she, once again, under New York as well as the federal crime that she charged, that she put on him as far as the civil suit and the criminal suit, was the Adult Protection Act. Under that law, as this attorney just mentioned, you got 1 year to prove your proof. There is no, you can ride it out for 3 or 4 years. You got 1 year to prove and have this person under indictment, under investigation, to have this person checked out for all your allegations. You got 1 year to put it all together, and what you gonna do? And Cassie knew she had 1 year. That's why it happened like bam, 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 bam. And a lot of us were like, why didn't she do anything before? Who was gonna believe her? Without any proof, who was gonna believe her? So she had to get all her proof together, not just I got a black eye. That's why, and she knew that she had a year to put all this together.
Now, Ventura had told CBS at the time, quote, "After years in silence and darkness, I am finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and abuse in their relationships."
She filed a civil suit against.
Let's before we go any further, like with my brother Professor, those brothers in Mexico, the brother in Mexico used to live here in Colombia. I'm gonna tell y'all something about Professor, man. Let's see, y'all see Professor come in here, man. He be coming here off and on throughout the years. Professor used to live here in Colombia for years. In Choco. We talking about a white dude living in a predominantly black, not city, not area, state, a whole state of black people. And he's one of the only few white boys down yonder among our people. So when professors show up, I got respect for him, true respect for him, because he not only did the Medellin, did the Cartagenas and all that, but he didn't sit back and skip any part of Colombia. He said, listen, I'm going to Choco and I'm going to be there and I'm going to learn what I learned among people of color. And now he's been in Mexico helping firefighters get trained. That's what he does. He trains firefighters. So whenever you see this dude show up, man, I got much respect for him because of what he has done and what he continues to do. Shout out to you, brother, with the Mexican $20. Shout out to you. And like he said, I don't let my choices mess up my chances. I don't let my choices mess up my chances. Y'all better put that one on a t-shirt and a bumper sticker on the billboard, guys. Let's get back to the video. Shout out to you, Professor, for being here.
So it only takes one in the sex trafficking charge. It only takes one witness, like Jonathan Odie, who was one of the sex workers.
Now, who is Jonathan Odie? We're about to look at that.
5 years before the Diddy lawsuit, this guy Jonathan Odie is on camera with detectives saying that he was a sex slave for P. Diddy and that he had like 15 collars, then caught a venereal disease.
Okay, how do I know this? Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this? Do you know Sean Combs?
Let's pause it right there. Jonathan Odie says, I was freshening up my drink. He said, listen, I was one of Diddy's intimacy workers. When it was time to get the freak on, Diddy called me and a few other dudes. He knew that I was about it. This the same dude that went crazy in Trump Towers and took the American flag and spread it out there and got into the altercation with the police. The crazy dude. The video we're about to watch with him, with no, in the hospital robe, is right after the police caught him in Trump Towers acting a fool with a firearm. And now this is part of the investigation of when they were questioning him. But he's going to say, you know the guy, Sean Combs?
Like 15 collars, then caught a venereal disease.
Okay, how do I know this? Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this? Do you know Sean Combs? Puff Daddy.
You know Sean Combs.
He Diddy, whatever you call it. Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boulay.
Okay. He said Sean Combs is a part of what's called the Boulay. In 1904, the first African-American Greek secret, let's not overlook that word. This is very important, guys, just in case you've never heard of this, that Puffy is a part of. This is the Black Illuminati. Just in case you guys ever wonder if we had one, see, we always, here we go, let's go. We always want to criticize white people for having something, but we love imitating white people, don't we, black folks? Yo, yes, we do. Yes, we do. We create some original stuff. We got a lot of stuff that we can say that's our own. Yes, we do. I agree with that. But in many areas, when it comes to behavior, we imitate massa. Yes, we do. I don't care if you want to admit that you still got a plantation mindset or not. A lot of us imitate what massa doing. And one of the ways of imitation is massa got an Illuminati, we go make an Illuminati. Massa don't let us in his Illuminati. We don't need to be in his because we gonna create our own. And that's what this is. In 1904, the first African American Greek secret society was formed in, shout out to you Philly boys, hate to say it, Obsidian, but it was in your city. He said by Dr. Henry Minton and 5 of his colleagues. The Bele, I hope I pronounced that, Boule, sorry, Boule in this pronunciation, was formed to bring together a select group of educated black men and women. So it's not just men in it. Fashioned after the Yale skull and crossbones. Now, any of you who knows anything about the Yale skull and crossbones, you've got presidents in it, senators in it, the most powerful businessmen in the world from the United States are part of this. I'm talking about you don't make major connections better than skull and crossbones. I'm sorry, the skull and bones. I said crossbones. The Boule historically has taken pride in having provided leadership and service to Black Americans during the Great Depression, World War I and World War II, and the Civil Rights Movement. But do realize, even though they were doing things in front of us, there was a lot that was going on behind the scenes. Yes, our own Black Illuminati. We're going to look at a little bit more details in regards to our Illuminati. So let's not sit back. And they said Diddy, and you're going to be surprised that when you see others that were a part of the Black Illuminati. So you might want to sip a drink, guys. Let me sip this drink because you're going to need it.
The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati. Okay. It's the black people.
It's the black branch of the Illuminati.
The Boule is an acronym for Sigma Pi Phi.
The Boule only accepts membership from men who are already successful in business.
Deep within the shadows of society, there exists a whispered tale of power, mystery, and intrigue. Welcome to the realm of the inside the Black Illuminati Secret Society. The Boule, where only the chosen few tread, for within these hallowed halls, emotions run deep.
Yeah, that's your boy. Just in case you shell shocked, I'm gonna let that sit there. Oh, you think I'm crazy? I'm gonna let that sit there for a minute. That's just a white man putting out propaganda. I'm gonna let that sit there for a minute. You can't believe everything on social media. I did a lot of research on this, guys. I did a lot of research on this. I'm gonna let that sit there for a minute.
A mixture of awe and reverence for the...
I'm gonna let that sit there for a minute. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna let that sit there for a minute. We have our own Illuminati. No, they're good people. I'm a part of them. That's not true. I'm gonna let that sit there for a minute. Because a lot of us have never even heard of the Boule. Some of us have, and you don't even have to be a college graduate to be a part of the fraternity. I'll say that again. If you are successful on a level that success has never happened, you could be a part of that. Such as the Panthers, such as our brother Martin.
Power that resides within, tempered by a sense of apprehension for what lies ahead. So, dear seeker of truth, dare to step into the shadows and explore the realm of the boule.
I'm gonna let that sink in for a minute. Let's bring that back.
The power that resides within, tempered by a sense of apprehension for what lies ahead. So, dear seeker of truth, dare to step into the shadows and explore the realm.
Do you really think the most powerful religion that has been established in the Black community does not have individuals that are impacted by a secret society? I love the nation. I love my nation brothers. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Those brothers, between my Christian brothers and my nation brothers and my Sunni Muslims and my 5%ers and my Shiite brothers, they open up my eyes so much to manhood, how to carry myself. If you want to sit back and wonder why I'm not the thug and wild dude that I was before, a lot of it is because of the impact that my nation brothers had on me. But that still doesn't mean that there were some things that were not going on behind the scenes that are starting to come out on all of our Black people of power, from the Oprahs on down. I told y'all gonna need a sip tonight. Y'all thought I was just gonna be talking about Diddy tonight? Okay. Oh, okay.
I'm not Black, I'm OJ. Okay.
Of the boule.
And so the Boule Secret Society was created in 1904 by 9 African-American men, okay, because they wanted to counter Yale University Skulls and Bones, because Black people were prohibited of being a part of any secret society, specifically the Skulls and Bones.
We're going to pause it right there. Shout out to my man Jerron being in the building. He says this. He said, MLK, real name is actually Michael King. Him and his father, the senior, stole the Martin Luther from Saint Martin Luther, of course, of the Catholic Church. Also, MLK is well-documented communist. I don't understand. You know what? As far as the communism part, I wouldn't know. I hadn't researched it. And if I hadn't researched something, I mean, I heard about it, but I hadn't gone in depth in regards to researching it. And I hadn't gone in depth in regards to this, but we're going to take what you had to say in regards to face value, because I knew that they had investigated King for this. But they investigated King just to get rid of King anyway, as well as Stokely Carmichael, as well as Angela Davis and all of our other leaders. But you guys might, there we go. There's a little bit of homework for us right there. Researching the original name of Martin Luther King. Let's validate it, guys. You may not want to validate it tonight, but you may want to validate it for yourself. Was Martin's original name Michael? And so it is. And he was a part of, no matter what, the Boule. Let's continue on.
And I'm going to reveal to you later on in the program, Sam, that the original Skulls and Bones goes back to Greek mythology of a half a man, a half a woman with this left paw on a skull, which now has been translated to 1904 to the present day Boule Secret Society logo, which is a half a man, half a woman, half a lion with this right paw on what we call an urn, right?
You see that? Just like he just said. Let's look at this. Let's just look at LeBron's chest. He's got the urn. He's got the wings right here. And we can't make out this right here, but based off of what we see, it still has that same figure of the lion. Here's the legs right here. These are the legs. Same thing. Just like with the skull and crossbone, the Skull and Crossbone Society's emblem or logo is half a man, half a woman. with the man's genitals. I've seen the statue before. And right here with the Boule, with the black Illuminati, if you will, allegedly, let's put it like this, allegedly, you have the urn. What do we keep in urns? What do we keep in urns, gentlemen? The remains of our loved ones, the ashes of our loved ones. Urns have never had any other purpose throughout human history except for the ashes of our loved ones, the people that we care about. What people do people with this type of power care about? What type of people that the black people, allegedly, of this organization care about? Because that's what we keep in an urn. We have the female face. We can zoom this in a little bit, get rid of me. Let's do it like this. Let's just get rid of Andre. Let's zoom this in. You got the female face. You got the wings. You got the urn. The body of an animal. And then you got the fraternity logos or images. So when we sit back and we talk about only, and on the side of LeBron, what does it say? Loyalty. Loyalty to who? What's on the front? What's on the front? And LeBron is a part of this. Martin Luther King was a part of this. Other civil rights leaders were a part of this, as well as Diddy being a part of this. So while y'all running around talk about on every other rap song Illuminati, the Boule is laughing because you guys are so distracted by the term Illuminati that the Boule in our community are puppeteers. Are puppeteers.
Capital URN, which they keep ashes of dead people.
There are only 5,000 members. They have had and have black.
Pause. The last thing that the one brother just said, there are only 5,000 members. That's it.
Notable figures of society as their members, such as Martin Luther King, Bill Cosby, Jesse Jackson, and Colin Powell. Even LeBron James happens to be a member. If you notice, the tattoo on his chest happens to be the symbolic logo of the fraternity, as you can see in both pictures.
The meeting that goes on in Atlanta every year, and the big time dignitaries, college presidents, corporate CEOs, all of the great people that you would think of that has made it in this society that's exclusive, that the ones that the government approved, the ones that you see on all these TV shows and different things like that. She said it's bank presidents, any kind of top-notch Negro, they say that these people, they fly into Atlanta, men, and they have this great day in Atlanta every weekend, every year, a great day annually, and they fly in and they fuck each other.
And now, before we go any further, yeah, he said that. Shout out to the A. We love you, Atlanta. But we already know what is the black mecca of LGBTQ for black people in the United States. Detroit? Nope. DC? Could be. Nope. Gotta be San Francisco. Nope. Atlanta. We all been knowing it for years. Atlanta is where them boys go get them boys, go get them boys. We already know that. No matter where you go. I saw a fight. True story. I've never seen this ever in my life. I've never seen this type of fight ever. Two brothers in a club tearing the club apart. Destroying as much as they can in that tussle. After the fight, they asked one of the brothers, who jumped on one of the dude, jumped on the one dude and just started beating him down. He said, what? They said, what happened? You were celebrating your birthday and you just all of a sudden just jumped on the dude. What happened? You know what this dude said? I was standing right there. That brother said in Atlanta, in a club, in front of everybody, he said, I beat his ass because he was looking at me with loving eyes. I've been to a lot of states in the States. I've seen dudes fight over women, money, pride. I've seen dudes fight over debt. Hey man, you still owe me $500. I have never seen a dude until I got to Atlanta. Two dudes fighting because one dude looked at another dude with loving. The dude literally said, and he wasn't even gay from what he said. This dude looked at me with loving eyes and I whooped his ass. That's Atlanta. Loving eyes. I don't even know what loving eyes looks like coming from another man. I was like, in my mind, I want to interview him then. I'm like, well, kind sir, how do you know what loving eyes are? So when this guy says they have this meeting in Atlanta, let's not be surprised when they say men on men on men in the A, because this is not a surprise to us. Let's not, come on, black folks, let's be real. We know our people. The other thing is when it comes to the Yale organization, Skull and Bones, that's one of the things that they're known for. I knew this years ago. Skull and Bones been knowing about some of the most influential men messing around with some of the most influential men in human history, at least U.S. history and beyond. Some of the most powerful men that have either walked the halls of Yale University was getting that back blew out. I've been knowing about that for years. Yeah, you do a lot of reading while you're in the feds. And so it is with the Black Illuminati. Them dudes smashing each other. And I don't know if it's woman on woman for the few women that are allowed to get in. But I'm not surprised that this happens. Let's continue on with the video.
You see, so this thing is going even beyond the boule. It's although a lot of these members and a lot of this stuff was chartered by the boule, there's all these people and they go in and they fuck each other. These great so-called powerful black men. And so we're talking about an elite society, not just even in the secret society of the boule, but your political society.
Are you talking about the gay boule or the gay black political scene?
We talk about the gay boule, okay, which would be the catalyst. The gay black political scene. You see what I'm saying? Whereas some of your congressmen is gay, like John Lewis. He's there. He's always pleading our case, always hugging up white people. He's gay. You see what I'm saying?
We're going to pause it right there before now we go back. Now you guys understand. Let's go back here. This gentleman right here. You see how I brought that full circle? Because he said, this guy right here said, do you know Sean Diddy? Or know of? He's like, yeah, Puffy. You talking about Puffy? He's part of the boule. What? The Black Illuminati, dude. You don't know what the Black Illuminati is? No. And for many of us, we didn't know about this. We didn't know about the Black Boule. We thought that they were just the Boule was the first black. No, we don't know who's controlling what. Who? The Illuminati pulls the strings of the boule. Boule is known for realize, how do you control a society? Y'all think that this is just farce, but how do you control a society? Propaganda. If I can keep a Beyonce in front of your face, what's your favorite? A Drake, a Kendrick in your face. If I can keep you focused on fashion and hip hop and style, if I can keep you focused on some of your favorite comedians, your Cat Williams, this is what Cat been telling us for the longest. If I can keep you focused on these under propaganda or make you think that this is cultural, this is our culture, you know how much stuff I can get away with over here because I got you focused on a Beyonce, a Jay-Z, a rap battle. Dude, I'm from Detroit.
You better back the fuck up out my face, goddammit. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Don't play with me.
Police on the news, and you Chicago dudes and New York dudes can relate to this. Police on the news. We just got captured 50 kilos of illegal substances coming into the city. You got the police chief there. You got the deputy mayor there on television. You've got the investigators there. Caught 50 kilos of illegal substances coming to Detroit. And Detroiters are like, yes, we're going to vote for that mayor again. We're going to let that mayor be mayor. We're going to vote for those judges again and everybody else, right? Right? Where'd y'all catch it? They were coming in from the west side of Detroit. Wow, I caught them on the west side of Detroit with 50 cakes. All of us in the game just got 100 cakes came in on the same day on the east side of Detroit. We sit up there watching them dudes on the news showboat for y'all, distracting y'all with that propaganda, with them 50 cakes thinking they didn't did something. We just got 100 cakes on the east side. Propaganda is created to distract us. That's what it's for. They used it during World War I, World War II. They still use it today. Still use it today. And we also use it against each other in the black community. So when we sit up there and try to act like, well, white people this, white people that. Yeah, I got you. I feel you on that. I understand that. But there are some brothers and sisters that could give less than a damn about you as a brother and sister. I'll say that again. Yes, there are some superpower white people that are in control of everything and run the plantations, and they are controlled, they're the puppeteers. I got you. The Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and all the rest of those, I got you. But there are black people in the black community that could give less than a damn about you, that will smile in your face and have these organizations and treat and bring in and sit up there and treat us and show us one thing, 50 kilos of life, when they are bringing in for themselves 100 kilos, 150 kilos of life. Let's get back to the video. Well, let's go back to Will for my sec. Shout out to my man Will in the building. He said, greetings, big brother. He said, Andrea and chat family. Been a long week, no sleep. Welcome to my world. He said, after adjusting to so much fun throughout Colombia, good. He said, glad not to miss this show. Push that like button and support Black Male Media. Yes, sir. Shout out to you guys with the cash apps and the super chats supporting Black Male Media. If you have something you want to say, you might want to put it in the super chat. Let's get back to the video. And remember, all of this is about don't get in your own way. So let's hear what this guy has to say after he showcased. Now, mind you, I'm going to lay the foundation for him. This guy is from Africa. I want to say this again. He's not American. He's not even supposed to know about a Black American Illuminati. How the heck does he know, as a white dude from Africa, know about a Black Illuminati? That's the other part that's amazing. He's not only said, I'm one of the dudes that Diddy would call to be a boy toy. He said, I end up getting a venereal disease. Now, some of this could be a farce. But just like with Cat Williams, or just like with let's put it like this, like with rat poison. Rat poison is 90% corn. I'll say this again. Rat poison is 90% corn. It's just 10% poison. Everything he has to say doesn't have to be true. But enough of it. Which part of it is actually true? That's the problem for Diddy. And he has a lawsuit against Diddy right now.
I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist. Okay, you my brother, so I like black people. Okay. My mom, I was raised by an African woman in my house. Okay. She was just a servant, but she was she took care of me. Right. So I love black people. Okay. I had settlement with Sean, okay, against Donald Trump, okay, because he used to belong to their side. You understand? He used to belong to that eliminated group that I told you about, which is an elite group.
You said that group Diddy was a part of that. Remember, like I mentioned before, that he is one of the individuals that has a lawsuit going against Diddy right now. He is one of the people that Diddy is scared to snitch. Now, remember, all it takes is one snitch in the feds, bruh. Your boy know. The dude that snitched on us is 123 in the building. Click that like button. We like you. Make sure you like us too. The guy that snitched on us, how did it turn into a federal indictment, Andre? I'm going to tell you how I got my federal case. You ready? Because my snitch had a federal case. I got my federal case because the snitch ended up with a federal case. Check it. This dude, now, I'm not even in Indiana at the time. I'm doing my crimes in other states. Like I used to say, I ain't hurt that white girl next door because I was downtown breaking in the gold store. I didn't hurt that white girl next door because I was downtown breaking in the gold store. I was doing my crimes, not those crimes. I got convicted for those crimes, even though I was doing my crimes. I got my own state cases to beat. I end up in a federal indictment while fighting state cases. Why? What happened? Because he ended up in a federal crime. This dude was with his girlfriend. She was from Virginia. Relationships end. And just like I mentioned to you guys, don't get in your own way. What ends up happening? She leaves to go back to Virginia. He's heartbroken. He's ready to get in his own way. He steals a car in Indiana. Shout out to Fort Wayne. Shout out to Fort Wayne, Indiana. Steals a car in Indiana. He's a friend to my friends. Remember I told you the nerdy guys that end up becoming ballers? He's one of their regular everyday friends. He's not in the game. He's just a regular dude. He steals a car on his way to Virginia to get the love of his life. That's why I tell you dudes, don't be thirsty for women. Halfway there, he gets pulled over by the state boys. They run a license plate. This car is stolen. Once that car crosses over the state line, it's a federal case now. It's not the state in which you got caught in for stealing the car. It's a federal case because you stole a piece of property and you took it over state lines. That's a federal case. Just like if you take a human being over state lines, it's a federal case. That's why so many pimps are in jail right now. That's why the pimp game has fallen from the grace that it was in one point in time. Why? Because those dudes were taking women from Las Vegas all the way to Atlanta, or from Atlanta to DC for the Super Bowl event or whatever it may be. And when you take a person or a thing across state lines, it becomes a federal offense. So now this snitch is sitting up here in federal jail And like, listen, I don't want to go to jail. I bet you don't. But I got some dudes to snitch on. Do you really? Yes, I do. I got a bunch of dudes that y'all can take down in the city of Indiana, and one of the cities in Indiana. Now, mind you, I'm not even in Indiana at that time period. Remember, I said I'm fighting my state cases already. And I'm looking good to win them. That's why I said I'm about to move to Atlanta once I win all these state cases. I'm winning in Michigan. I'm winning in Ohio. And so I'm like, I'm good. Let me go and shoot down to Atlanta. I'm good. My attorneys can take care of the rest of this mess. And before those cases got a chance to get the final verdict, I stopped in Indiana to go see my boys who were nerds at one point in time. Now they're bigger. I never knew all this was going on. And the snitched on them. And when the police came and got everybody, they got your boy. And I'm like, hey, I ain't got nothing to do with this anyway. And because I was there for one of the major transactions, FEDS had them under 2 years of investigation. And since I was just sitting there having a drink, ain't had nothing to do with me. I'm already beating my crimes. I already got my money. I was one of the dudes that was able to make it out. I got my monies. I'm stacked. I'm good. They asked to snitch on the stands. Was Andre there on this day? No. Was Andre there on that day? What about Mr. Spence on this day? What about Mr. No. He wasn't there for that date. As soon as they got to, yes, he was sitting there. What was he doing? He was having a drink. Kid you not. Sitting there having a drink. I remember what I was drinking. I was drinking some golden champagne. Remember the golden champagne back in the day? Like the Champipple? Like the Ripple? Drinking some golden champagne. I'm showing my age right now. And the dudes came through the door. Hey, Kings of Dreams, I still got a lot of this story that I keep to the side for you, bro. Just in case you're wondering. I got a lot of this story of my experience in the feds I put to the side for Kings and Dreams interview. And so you guys heard they kicked in the door, blah, 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 so forth and so forth. I'm about to jump out the kitchen window, and the federal officer tells me, don't do it, son, or we'll blow your head off. So I didn't jump out the kitchen window, obviously. All it takes is one snitch. When his case went fed, he started snitching on my boys. I just so happened to be there at the time period when the snitch fest went on, the snitchathon. And I get caught up. And since I got a federal investigation, all my state cases that I'm winning, you guilty, you guilty, you guilty, you guilty. So now I'm guilty of all my state cases, and I'm fighting a Fed case now. So now I'm the money that I put to the side for Andre's future, that I'm going to Atlanta, I'm going to college, I'm about to buy me a house, I'm about to do this, I'm about to do all that was deferred. Why? Attorney fees. And my attorney fees got me 10 years. And now looking back on it, from all the dudes that I know that was in the feds that didn't have attorneys, yeah, and didn't go to court, because over 70%, if not 80% of all federal cases, usually somebody plea bargain or somebody they just plea bargain out. I was one of the few cases that went to court. Few federal cases that took it to court. And those attorney fees ate up all that money I put to the side. All of that money was gone. They were like, how much you got? Oh, yeah, we getting all that, player. Between my state attorneys and my Fed attorneys, yeah. Yeah. Because of one dude trying to chase some pussy from Indiana to Virginia. Your life can be thrown off if you're not careful, and it ain't even your fault. So when I mentioned on this live stream tonight, the theme of this live stream is don't get in your own way. That means don't invite the wrong people around you. I don't care how fine she is. You plan on moving to Colombia. I don't give a dude. I was so adamant about moving to Colombia. There was in my mind, Every female in the States was friend zoned. I don't care how fine you were. I don't care how cool you were. I don't care how much you wanted me. I don't care how much you spreaded your legs. I don't care how thick your lips were. Man, the year before I met Andrea, when I was on monk mode, bruh, every female in this country, I said to myself, every female in the country is friend zoned from this day forth, with nobody in the States getting it. Outside the country, I'm throwing that D. Notice, I ain't met Andrea yet. Outside the country, I'm throwing that D. When I get back to the States, I'm like a horse with blinders on, and I'm focused on making my money. Giddy up, Andre. Every female's friend zone. Man, I wasn't walking up. Man, females walking up on me. No, you can be a friend. No, I don't take women out to dinner. Are you taking me? Everybody got friend zone. In other words, I refuse to let me or anybody else get in my way of moving to Colombia. This was even before I met Andrea. And at one point in time, I didn't even know what country I was going to move to. I just knew I was going to move outside the States. And remember, I told you at one point in time, because this was the stage, that one point in time where I was just smashing women and I'm traveling, then I realized I might want to move out the country. That was first stage. Second stage was when I told y'all I was with that one chick, and I told y'all that she's the only one. And I told her that, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't smashing no other chicks. I'll never be your man. I'll never take you out to dinner. You can come up to my house a couple of times a week. I'll have your favorite wine for you and your favorite music. I give you all the orgasms you want. You got to go home twice a week. And I was with her for about a year. Then that was stage 2. Then I went on monk mode. So I went on monk mode for about a year. During monk mode, I met Andrea coming back and forth to Colombia. Met Andrea. So that was stage 4. Stage 5 was my official move to Colombia. Because while I was met with Andrea, I had got this apartment that we're in right now. We're about to move soon, but we got this apartment. So I had this apartment like about 9-10 months, almost a year. And I moved officially stage 5 to Colombia, November 26, 2019. But each was a stage. But at any point in that stage, did I mention that a bunch of women was getting sex anymore, other than stage 1 when I thought about moving to Colombia, or moving out, not Colombia, but moving outside the country? Stage 1, I didn't know what country, but I knew I was moving outside the country, but I was still smashing a lot of chicks in the States. So stage 2 happened. I decided to be with one female, but we were in a relationship. Stage 3 was monk mode. Stage 4 was I met Andrea doing stage 3 and 4. Stage 5 was moving outside the country. You got to stay out your way, bruh. And one of the ways you stay out your way, you keep other people out of your way. I took my sex life outside the country. Andre, you want to beat some coochies up? Yeah, you better keep that money stacked and get out the country whenever you want to, bruh. So I could leave the country whenever I wanted to, because I had the vacation time set up to where it was connected to holiday time. So I'm out of the country 4, 5, 6 times and 7 times a year. Every time there's a holiday in the States, I just put a vacation day on it and I'm out. Bam, I'm living in Florida, so I ain't got to fly far. What's my point in saying all this? Stay out your own way. Don't mess up what you got going good. You are really doing some good, even if you at stage 1 of your decision to move to Thailand. Stay focused. Don't let this distract you over here. Stay focused. Don't let you mess you up by being distracted by what's going on over here. Stay focused on your move to DR. Stay focused, brothers. DR is waiting for you to move to that spot. But you get caught up with the BS right here in the States, and all of a sudden, this is deferred. Now you focusing on this. Why? Because you done got some female pregnant in the States. And you're a good man. And good men take care of their kids. So now you stuck in the States. So now you got to keep your sex life in the States. You got to keep your money in the States. Now you got to pay taxes on a regular basis in the States, because you don't get none of these tax breaks that we expats get. Now you got to deal with all the headaches and the high inflation in the States. Now you got to deal with the gas prices and the cost of apartments and housing in the States. Why? You're a good man, and good men take care of their kids. You stay in the States. Dream deferred. If you only stayed out of your own damn way, you and your sex life get in your way every time, every single time. Stay out of your own way. Let's go to these super chats. Shout out to my man Master and Marquise in the building. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Or Marcos. He said, I'm living this. You are cooking, broski. Shout out to you, brother. Glad that you made it here. Kings of James says, let me see if I can get this. He said, this ish is, oh man, I don't get that one. See, yeah, I don't know all of them. I don't know all the emojis. He say, work still coming. My man Terrell is in the building. Shout out to you, Terrell. Glad to see you here, brother. Glad to see you here. And he says, hello, chat and Brick Bro. He said, made it on. This is a great topic. He said, I'll be back home next week. That must mean Colombia. I'll say that again. That must mean Colombia. Whenever us guys talk about home, we are not talking about the United States on this channel. We love the United States. Our country 'tis of thee. Yes, we do. But whenever you hear us say home on this channel, we know it's every country but Canada, but Australia, but UK, but Mexico, but the United States. Yes. Yes. When you see us say home, you might as well automatically assume they are not talking about our country 'tis of thee. He said, I hope to link up with you. I hope to link up with you too, brother. You already got the email, man. So in the information. So just hit me up, man. You guys already know the only time I really am away from this chair is I'm hanging out with two people. I'll say that again. To get me out of this chair, I'm hanging out with two people, really three. God is one, Andrea, number two, and you guys, number three. When you guys come to town, I'm out the chair. If you ain't in town, I'm in the chair. I'm in the chair. A lot of times I work hard in the chair because I know you guys are coming to town. So shout out to you guys. Uriah, my favorite Bible name. My favorite Bible name, Uriah. He said, some golden champagne money. Shout out to you for the $10 for supporting the Black Male Media and the Golden Champagne Fund. Yes, sir. Show my age. Am I not Uriah? Official Kobe in the building. Shout out to you with the $1.99. Hey, man. Hey, Official Kobe, do me a favor. Drop the link to your channel, man. I've been watching some of your content. Drop the link to your channel. So you're always teaching life lessons. Thanks. Yes, sir, man. That's because I've been there, as you guys can tell. That's why I always give my testimonies. Other content creators try to make it seem like their life was always perfect, and they just so happen to have enough money to buy 5 condos and be able to pay for play around the world. That's not my story. I ain't gonna even lie to you. My story is a story of overcoming. I'm the Rocky guy, okay? I got the Rocky story. I'm sorry. Some of us got a Rocky story. Some of you truck drivers got Rocky stories, meaning that you had to overcome some stuff. You had to do the Rocky. See what I'm saying? Life was Mr. T. You had to fight Mr. T to get to where you are as a truck driver. You had to fight Mr. T to get you where you are as a military brother. You had to fight like Mr. T for some of you guys that are on retirement. You had to fight to get to that point of retirement, man. It wasn't easy for you. Some of us have been through divorces. Many of us have been through, we wanted to be great dads. Many of you, I don't have a shorty, but many guys I know wanted to be great dads. And then a baby mama with her attitude didn't want you to be, you had to be a Rocky, bruh. Rocky Balboa on life, man. You training. You all up in Russia, all up in the snow-capped mountains of Russia, training. You got the Siberian lynx looking at you like, what the hell is he doing? Does he not know I'm a Siberian lynx? I will eat him out here while he out here training, lifting logs. Some of us gotta be Rockies in life, man. I ain't gonna lie. Some of you dudes many of you dudes, I am with you dudes that you did the right thing in life. You went to college, you went on here and got the great degrees, you blew up and your money was right, everything was fine. You bought like 9 apartment buildings in the United States. I'm with you. I'm with y'all brothers. All of us ain't get it like that. All of us ain't get it like that. Some of us had to hit $500,000 in the mud. Where you gonna get it, Dre? From the mud. Some of you dudes, all your steps were just right. You ain't never smoked no weed. You ain't never drank. You went to the military. You did all the right things. You retired from the military. You took some money and invested. You got your side job. You're doing all the things that need to be done. I'm with you, brothers. But some of us ain't got it like that. We didn't get it like that. We had to get it from the mother mud. And that's why I tell my story, because I never want men that get it from the mud to feel bad because of brothers that did get it with a better path than we did. I didn't do it all the right way. Okay, cool. But damn it, god dang it, if you at $500,000 and I'm at damn, we both there. Especially as black men. I don't care if we had 100,000. I don't care if we had 50,000. I don't care, dude, if we at $500 in our bank account. You got 500 and I got 500 and we both got it. If I had to get it from the mud and you had to get it through degrees, either way, as long as we as men of color actually got something going on. And that takes nothing away from our white brothers. Shout out to you brothers as well, our Latin brothers or our Asian brothers. But I tell my story and I tell the truth because I'll never want any of us as men to feel ashamed that some of us have gotten convicted and some of us is on probation and some of us had to spend our monies on attorneys and some of us ain't clean and crisp like a brand new dollar bill. Some of you dudes are a brand new dollar bill and some of us are a dollar that was rolled up in somebody's hand, a $100 bill that was rolled up in somebody's hand. Guess what? Both of them are still a $100 bill. I bet you spend it. I bet, okay. Ball up $100 right now and hand it to me right now. I bet you I spend that $100 bill just as fast as I spend that crisp $100 bill. Don't matter to me as long as they're both equal at the end of the day. That's all I care about. And that's why I present myself the way that I do, to let you guys see that change could happen. Because most guys tell me, Dre, if you had never told me about your past, I would never imagine that you had that past. I still get accused of either have been in the military at one point in time. I still get accused. Andre, what fraternity are you in? I still get accused. What major university did you graduate from? In other words, people see the change in me and guys like you and women like some of the ladies here, like you, see that major change that they couldn't imagine the type of get it from the mud some of us had to go through. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys. He said, Andre, you're a real one. He said, you're a real one. Love you, G. Love you too, Kings. I really do, brother. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Infinite what? What am I doing right tonight?
It feels so lovely to be here tonight. What a beautiful.
It's so lovely.
You're so lovely. Everyone's so lovely. And while you're in the clapping mood, I'd like to give a big round of applause to my band.
Shout out to my man, Infinite Growth, being here tonight. Give that man some claps.
Sexual chocolate.
Give that man applause. He said, thanks, God. He said, thanks, Andre. Inspired by your transparency, blessings. Yes, sir, kind sir. And my brother Kings and Dreams is in the building once again. He says, I haven't been married, but yes, I've had 2 and now rocky now. He said, I'm rocky now. He said, temperature is different now. God and the mud help me. Yes, sir. I like how you put that. He said, hashtag us, hashtag real talk. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And my man Fardy's in the building. Shout out to you, brother. I'm glad to see you here. I really am. He said, Diddy hitting up Russell Simmons for real estate tips in Bali. Oh, man.
Stone me if you must, but point out where I lie. Stone me if you must, but point out where I lie.
It ain't like Fardy lying, man. It ain't like that man lying. Stop it when he lying.
Stone me if you must, but point out where I lie. Stone me if you must, but point out where I lie.
Shout out to our girl, Chantel Simone. Shout out to her, man. But hey, at the end of the day, man, listen. Let's get back to the video. He is absolutely correct. Let's get back to the video. Let's move me out of the way and hit the video.
That he gave a testimony, or what he gave some information to some agents.
Now, the last thing that he was talking about was it only takes one snitch to get a conviction.
That he was working, doing sexual acts with Cassie, cross states, going back and forth, this, that, and the third. So it only takes one witness. So now
let's not let that slide by what he just said. The evidence is being put together to prove that Diddy was taking Cassidy. It could have been others across state lines. Remember I mentioned that before, guys? If you take a thing or a person across state lines, it becomes a federal offense. Remember I just said my snitch became fed because he took a stolen car across state lines. And so he told the feds, I got some guys I can snitch on. The states never came our way, not one time. In Indiana, the states were like, Actually, this after a while, come to think of it, after a while, the states did come our way, but they dropped our cases because they saw the feds come our way. So the states were coming, and they were like, so in my case, I'm dealing with Indiana, I'm dealing with Michigan, I'm dealing with Ohio. But then Indiana dropped their cases because they're like, hey, we already got the feds. And I guess the FBI talked to the feds, talked to the states, and they were like, no, we gonna get them for real. We about to lock them up for real. And so the feds dropped, not the feds, but the states of Indiana dropped their case. So the feds in Indiana could run like they did in our situation. But all it takes is one. And remember what he just said was that he was taking her across state lines. In other words, as long as he was doing something illegal with Cassie in Florida, in New York, it was a New York case. The moment that he took her to all these events and was still acting the fool, he's taking her to LA. He's taking her here. He's flying her there. He's taking her across state lines. There you go. It's fed now. It's fed now.
The reason they haven't went after him because there's more to get into. It's more to get into. It's not only the sex trafficking, it's the guns, the alleged drugs. And I'm saying alleged because they haven't came out with any formal charges yet.
And they not until they get it right. Now, when he says the guns and the drugs, who was with Diddy in Miami at the airport and got arrested? When everybody said Diddy plane is going out of the country, but Diddy was still in Miami at the airport. Remember the one white dude that got arrested that was with Diddy? And he got arrested and find out he was a major player in the drug game? You think he about to do that time? He gonna snitch. He gonna snitch. The dude from Africa, the bald dude that we just saw, he gonna snitch. Cassie gonna snitch. Who is that? Somebody's ex-wife that's on the indictment right now. one of the major entertainers. I forget who it is. His ex-wife is on the indictment right now, man. I forget the guy's name, and I talked about it in another video. She gonna snitch. People that's been at the Diddy parties that haven't been come out of, that they haven't brought in public yet, they gonna snitch. See, the feds have a 98% conviction rate, guys, in all sincerity, because they have an 80% rate of individuals taking plea bargains. Okay, we gonna offer you 10. You know what? If you get convicted, you look at, okay. I was looking at 165. Just in case you guys were wondering, when the indictments came out, I was looking at 165 years running wild. 165 years running wild. That means that running wild means that each conviction, like if this indictment was 20 years, this one was 10, this one was 5, this one was another 20, this one, when it added all up, all my indictments added up to be 165 years running wild. That means that the judge could sit back and say, Mr. Spence, you've been found guilty of your crimes. You will be convicted of blah, 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 blah. Your sentencing time is 165 years running wild. Or they could take the largest amount. Let's say one of them had 20 years. So they could put them all together under a 20-year umbrella. And Mr. Spence, you are looking at 20 years consecutive. That means everything is up under the same umbrella like a sandwich, like one sandwich. So I could have it running wild or a sandwich of 20 years. It depends on what the judge is going to give me. Most people, what they do is that 80%, they be like, man, I can't do no 20. And I dang sure can't do no 165. They either snitch on somebody or they plea bargain. They be like, man. And the attorney will be like, listen, I've spoken with the judge. And I've spoken with the prosecutor. This is what they're offering. They're offering 13 years, do 5 on probation. That's the best you're gonna get. And now you're looking at you're a 23-year-old kid like I am. 23. Whether I think the fact that I had money made me stupid. We're taking it to court. Or the fact that they didn't offer me enough made me stupid. Like, hey, if I go to court, I'm looking at something that's like a life sentence. If I don't go to court, I'm looking at something from the plea bargain. It looks like something that looks like a life sentence. So we might as well take it to court. That was my mindset. But most people, when it comes to feds, like Diddy, he probably end up doing, because he doesn't want all the other stuff to come out, he'll do a Bernie Madoff. He'll sit back and say, okay, what are we looking at? And that's how 80% are convicted. Because the person just takes a plea bargain. Okay, I'm looking at 13. I mean, I'll be 36 when I get out. Okay. Man, 36 years old when I get out, man. And for some of you dudes that got kids and you got girls. I was too busy being a boy toy and out there slanging it to be in love with somebody. So I didn't have an emotional connection to the streets. See, that's what made me even now I'm looking back at this. It's a lot of things that made me not that made me go to court. I didn't have an emotional connection to a woman in the streets to be like, man, if I do 5 years, Aisha gonna ride it with me. I didn't have an Aisha. I was too busy smashing Aisha mama and sisters. So in other words, I didn't have an emotional connection to anything on the streets except for the streets. In other words, being free. I'm fighting for freedom, not because I got a child. I got a child in the streets. I got 2 kids in the streets. I got to be free for my kids. I didn't have all that. So I could sit back and roll the dice going to court. Most people can't do that. I used to sit up there, man. I would be in one cell, holding cell, waiting, and I could hear the person in the other cell talking, convincing that. Okay. Now I'm gonna say this story for Kings and Dreams live stream. But what I could do as far as going to court, a lot of guys couldn't do. They couldn't take it to court. They got kids. Diddy's got kids. Diddy's not trying to do a L. L means life. Do a L in life while his kids are grown enough to lose your kids and your freedom and most of your money. So now they're going to come with Diddy, and I kid y'all not, this is exactly what they're going to do with Diddy. You're looking at, let's say he's looking at 65. Let's say he's looking at 60. We need $1 million for every year you want dropped off. Or the feds will say, we need 10 million. I kid y'all not, this is exactly how I work with people that got money like Diddy. We need 10 million per year for every year you want dropped off that 60. Or we need $1 million per year for every million for every year that's dropped off. So they'll sit back and tell Diddy we need 10 million per year. So now they're like, Diddy, we need 600 million if you want to drop the 60 down to just 1 year probation or whatever it may be. Okay, my companies are worth 600-700 million. I don't have access to 600 million. What do you have access to, Diddy? Well, I could put together 100 million. Okay, cool. That's 10 million per year. So we're gonna drop that down. Oh, Diddy, that's only, you looking at 50. You're still looking at 50 years. Well, okay, wait a minute. Let me make some calls. Let me make some calls. Come on, fellas. Feds, let me make some calls. They'll tell Diddy, true story. This is exactly how they do it. All the big money dudes that I know when I was in the feds and I asked them and I talked to them, this is literally how it goes. That's why you see the big money dudes are somewhat broke, but still keep like 5, 6, 7 million for when they get out, 10 million for when they get out, 15 million for when they get out. But they were worth 200 million when the indictment went down. You see where I'm going with that? They were worth 200 million, 100 million, 70 million when the indictment went down. But when they got out, they were worth 10 million. What happened to all that money? That's what I'm telling you what happens to the money. Diddy, you looking at 60. We want 10 million per year. I don't care if you're a drug, let's go back. I don't care if you're a drug cartel, if you got your money dirty. I don't care if you were a businessman and you think you got your money clean. They're coming to you and they're going to negotiate you out of your money. So they sit back and say, okay, you got 10 million per year. Diddy's like, okay, hold on, wait a minute. I can come up with another 125 mil. Okay, all right, Diddy. That's 250 mil you can come up with. Okay. That's 25 years off of 60, Diddy. That's 25 years off of 60. You still looking at 35, Diddy. Diddy, you still looking at 35. That's how it works in the feds. Diddy ain't gonna get, there is no, see, some dudes think, well, Diddy part of so many secret societies, he gonna get off. Dude, you know how many secret society dudes I met in the feds? You know how many dudes that were part of the secret societies that I met in the feds? You think Illuminati is bad or got power? I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You think Illuminati got power? You think all these other groups got power? I'll tell you who also got power. The Satan worshipers. The dudes behind the scenes that worship Satan on a level that you ain't never seen before. They got their own church in the feds. In other words, certain days that they worship, by law, they have to have worship days. They have to have everything set up the way that they worship. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. The Satanists, they even got it set up certain days even for our Native American brothers and sisters when they worship and they're in the feds. By law, they have to make sure that they protect the Native Americans' way of worshiping. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. The Satanists, nobody talks about them. Them's a powerful mother. There are some people in powerful positions that don't believe only in Satan, that worship and do everything. They got the Satan Bible, bro. Yeah, look it up. The Satanists got their own Bible. They believe that Satan should have been in position over God. They believe that Satan was really the winner over God. And God is just telling his own story. And Satan really won over the battle of the angels. They're there too. So when y'all sit back and talk about Diddy ain't even got 65 billion to work with like Bernie Madoff had. 65 billion. If you can't keep yourself out of jail and you got $65 billion, come on, man. This is exactly how the feds work. They like, you got this amount of money. You looking at 50 years. We'll take off per year if you give us this amount per year. That's exactly how it works. And I don't care if we got 15 federal prosecutors in the chat right now. You ain't gonna sell me on nothing else because I know what goes on behind the scenes because I was behind the scenes for 10 years. What they tell y'all on TV and showcasing y'all on TV is completely different when we walking the track together and you find out what really happened with that investigation. Y'all saw all this on the news and saw all this. And then when I walk in the track with the Bernie Madoffs and Bernie telling me his story because he ain't got no reason to lie to me. Now, I'm not saying I was there with Bernie, of course, but what I'm saying guys that were like that during that era of the 90s that were the Bernies, they're in there with me. I just told Andre the story of a dude that was a bank robber. This dude was a white collar dude, bruh. He was an executive for Chrysler back in the late 80s, early 90s. Balling. The nerdiest white boy. He was like what was that Mad Men. He was one of them clean, smooth white boys. Clean as could be, smooth hair, smooth. Kid, y'all not here in there with us. What is Mr. Smooth doing in the feds? Bank robberies. He lost his job with Chrysler and didn't know how to tell his wife that we are about to lose this house, this big expensive house, in which his father-in-law gave. He said, Dre, my father-in-law gave me the down payment to the house. We walking the track together. He telling me, he said, listen, 60 Minutes about to do a special on me. I said, what? He said, yeah, that's why I had to go out to the visitation for. 60 Minutes interviewed me for 2 hours. I said, okay. He telling me the story that 60 Minutes don't even know. I say, okay. I say, how did you keep this from your wife? He said, bruh. He said, Andre, my wife had to either be plain like she didn't know, or she had to be the stupidest woman in the world. I say, what do you mean by that? He said, Dre, we would be at the store, at the grocery store. He said, I'm putting he said, you know, as a man, you're putting the groceries in the trunk and your woman is getting in the car. He said, I dropped the money. He said, I would drop a bag of money on the ground. Hey, babe, what is this? She would look out the window and say, what is it, babe? What is this right here under our car? It's a bag of money. What? God is good. Where you get that money from? I don't know. It was down here. He said, man, you know how many times I used to have to just trick my wife and pretend like I done found some money? I said, man, how do you always find 15,000? Find 29, 27,000. So like 3 weeks later, he, myself, in like 20, I had about a good 200 of us sitting up here. We're in the television room in the feds. We got our arms crossed. Everybody's sitting there, arms crossed, watching this dude being interviewed by 60 Minutes. At the same time 60 Minutes interviewing him, we're interviewing him. Every time they say something, we turn to him and say, well, what about this? Well, what about that? Well, how'd you get away with this? Well, how'd you get away with that? So he's being interviewed on 60 Minutes, but at the same time, in the feds, we're interviewing him at the same time, asking him all type of crazy questions. So when I sit back and I say that I have been in the feds or I know the behind the scenes of what they do, and I understand what they're about to do with Diddy's case, it's not coincidental that I say what I say. Where's that? My music? Okay, in the background. Okay, I thought I was hearing some other music. Oh, that is our music. My bad. Some of you guys didn't know I was in the feds until tonight. Now you guys kind of know. Southern Man 40, he said TD Jakes. So that's another one that's gonna snitch. You think Jakes is gonna go to jail? Now, I met many. I won't even lie. Man, I got so many stories to share, man. But I'm gonna save for Kings and Dreams. Man, I met so many prominent pastors. I mean, mega church pastors in the feds. Man, I'm telling you, the only positions I never saw in the feds was a president or astronaut. I never met an astronaut in prison, and I never met a president. Everybody else, bruh. Everybody in the bruh, it will amaze you how many prominent, powerful people are in federal prison right now with everyday dudes like us. Yep. Let me go back to TD Jakes. 40 says TD Jakes sweating bullets right now. Yes, he is. He said IJS. Yep. He is. There's so many people coming down the turnpikes that's gonna snitch. Man, please. That's why the investigation or the indictment, the official indictment hasn't been printed yet. Remember I said feds don't waste any ink. Once they print, you go into jail. I'll say this again. Anybody that's ever been in the feds or know somebody in the feds, if you know anybody that's been under federal investigation, did they not go to jail? If they didn't go to jail, they snitched. Anybody that's been on the federal, the feds, the number one motto, the feds don't waste ink. If they print that indictment, you going to jail. That is a guarantee. 98, like he said 98.2, but I say 98.5% conviction rate. You are going to jail. Yes, you are. Even in the case of tax evasion, they give you a chance. They be like, hey, Dre, I got something on you, brother. You evading your tax, man. Here, listen, negotiate with the IRS. We'll leave you alone. That's how usually it works. Like, hey, work with the IRS, make some payment plan. Will Smith, that's what he did. Because he was tax evading when he was doing all the Jazzy Jeff albums. Will Smith was broke. Will Smith said his first few years of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he was literally broke because all his money went back to pay back taxes that he didn't pay when he was the Fresh Prince, and all those first albums, parents don't understand, those first albums blew up. He was not paying any taxes. He was a kid. He didn't think about that. And the people on his team didn't think about it. Steve Harvey didn't see a day in jail, but Steve Harvey paid, I think Steve Harvey said, I paid $65,000 a month in back taxes for almost 2 or 3 years. Because his accountant at that time period, Steve said, I was cutting the checks. He said, my accountant, I'm trusting my accountant. My accountant didn't even pay. He said, I didn't even know that he wasn't paying until my accountant died and I had to get another accountant. And the new accountant was like, bruh, you're in trouble. And Steve Harvey said, I had to pay, if I'm not mistaken, $65,000 a month. If not more, I think it was more than that, to get out of tax problems. So in those cases, yes, the feds usually negotiate with the IRS and with you and try to look out for you. Yes, they do that. They're not trying, they ain't automatically trying to put everybody in jail. But that's that small 1.5% that don't go. But as far as everybody else, yeah. If they print that ink, feds do not. Boy, yeah, I think I'm just saying this one. Feds don't waste no ink. As soon as I saw as soon as I saw Diddy case was federal, oh, this brother going to jail. And all y'all in regular life, y'all like, Diddy got power. Man, that nigga ain't got no power compared to them feds. He said jail, prison is a big business. That's another reason, because it's so much of a big business. Feds don't give a F. They don't. Not at all. Man, you can be the cleanest. I've seen this so many times. Y'all ready? You can be the cleanest dude in the feds. You did your own crimes. You were just, you did your own dirt. You got a couple of dudes. All y'all went to jail at the same time in the feds. Ain't nobody snitching. You know who they will get? Feds will lock your mama, your adult daughter, cousins. They will lock up a coworker. You was working, but you was still doing some illegal stuff. I dare you put something in your mom. If you have ever in your life did some illegal stuff and put it in your woman's or your mama's name, they will put an indictment out on her so fast. We know that your mama, she's just a regular postal worker. She been working at the post office 25 years. She ain't never did nothing. But when you put that car up under your mama's name in 2007, yeah. Because of that, she couldn't verify where that amount of money came from immediately. And she dang sure ain't making that type of money to get a 7 Series Mercedes-Benz as a postal officer. A postal worker. So, yeah, your mama looking at about good. She looking at about 5 years. So, but to keep your mama from being convicted, this is how the prosecutor and your attorney talks. But to keep your mama and your girlfriend from being convicted, who you put that in your girlfriend's name, we're gonna give you 35. If you give us some money, a nice amount of money, we can drop it down to 20. So we'll drop the indictments in the investigation on your mama and your girlfriend, because don't y'all got they'll guilt trip you. Y'all got 2 kids, right? How old it? Oh, from what we see, you got a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old. If you do 20 years, you'll still be out to be able to see them in their 20s. If you keep on crying like you're innocent, we gonna lock your baby mama up, who you put stuff under her name. We already got the information. We already got the proof, guys. We already got the proof. And we're gonna lock your mama up. And your mama gonna do the 5. Your girlfriend gonna do 3, because she doesn't have any record either. She thought she was doing you a favor. Your mama thought she was doing you a favor. You gonna get to 35, and you won't see your kids until they're in their mid-30s, late 30s. So what you gonna do? 85% conviction rate, right? 98% conviction rate. You gonna take that 20 years for your mama, your child's father, your baby mama, and you want to see your kids in their 20s instead of seeing your kids when they're 38 years old. You see where I'm going with that? That's how the feds work. So when I say all these snitches, they gonna present Diddy with all the snitches. Right now, the reason that video was released, realize CNN ain't got no police. So how did that video get released on Diddy? How it got released was because what ended up happening, Diddy, I'll say this again, Diddy didn't realize that the feds are trying to build or smear his character, because there's 2 courts, the federal courts and the court of public opinion. You don't need no indictment with a court of public opinion. All you got to do is just send out propaganda. And that's why that video just so happened to leak to CNN today. If you could destroy Diddy in the court of public opinion, everybody will think, see, look at this. Lock him up. All of us are thinking it. Think about it. If that was your sister, cousin, your mama from back in the day with your old badass daddy? What if that was a person that what if a coworker came in, she had a black eye from getting beat like Cassie did in that elevator? All of us were thinking, lock his today. You ain't got to do no investigation. We don't need no feds to print no inks. We are seeing it on television. Lock him up today. We always thinking about that. That's a dang shit. Look at him kicking that woman. She got to lay there and pretend like she knocked out. Oh, she ain't locked out. He dragging her. He is dragging her through a hallway of a hotel full of cameras. Full of cameras. Ran up out of there. Forget that shower. I got to stop her before she gets out downstairs. She could go to the police and have a black eye and prove everything like Rihanna did back in the day. Chris Brown. So yeah, let's change this music up, man. It sounds like elevator music. Get some different music. Sound like we're in a mall. Let's keep something smooth, but let's just change it. There we go. Bring some music in that sound like Chicago step music. Let's bring in some Chicago step music. You see what I'm saying? Something smooth. Okay. So let's go back to the video. I just wanted to lay down that foundation. Once again, my man Fadi says, a problem with your theory is that Diddy is too high profile. No, don't ever think that. Ever, ever, ever. And I'm just reading this. Don't you ever think. You know how many dude, you know how many times I have literally been on the federal compound, sitting on a bench, reading a newspaper about some high profile dude. And I glance up and I see them with their backpack and their clothes and everything, walking across the compound. Just getting there, like, what the? That has not happened to me one time. You know how many NFL high-profile players I've been in the feds with? You know how many senators and congressmen that I have been in the federal prisons with? Bro, if you knew, do you know how many Cali cartel dudes that I was in with? So how many Medellin cartel? Remember, I was in when these dudes went in. Profile don't mean nothing to the Fed. Man, the federal government gives no Fs. I want you guys to realize this. You don't get a 98% conviction rate giving an F about somebody being high profile. Why you think Trump is a dude that was president of the United States is shaking in his boots? A dude that was president of the United States that's running out of money, that's got to sell you tennis shoes to get money together. A billionaire so broke he's got to sell tennis shoes. Former president. If the states can break him, the state investigations can break him, you can't get no more high profile than Donald Trump. That's profile. You was the president. Man, they give no Fs. They will lock up a president. They give no Fs. This is the feds. This is ATF, FBI, DEA, CIA is international. I'm telling y'all, bro, listen, I'm giving y'all my story. That's why I can tell y'all. It ain't like I'm an outsider that don't know what I'm talking about. I'm giving y'all guys exactly, literally how it works, that they don't tell y'all on television, that they don't show y'all behind the scenes. You don't see that on your TV shows, the court shows. I'm telling you, this is literally how it works. Literally. Feds don't waste no ink, even for high profile dudes. Please, Diddy ain't, he's a cog in the peg. He's a peg in the cog of life. in their eyes, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. The Illuminati and all these other groups are like the NFL. What is the motto of the NFL? What is the motto of the NFL? Protect the shield at all costs. They don't care if Jerry Jones got to go down. They don't care. Remember when Al Davis, the Raiders owner, used to be alive? Man, they crucified Al Davis from the 70s, when Al Davis fought against the NFL merging with the AFL, because the AFL was killing the NFL, because the AFL was the first one to get television rights, real television rights. AFL was the first one to put names on the back of the jerseys. AFL was the first one to interview football players on the sideline. AFL was the first one to have cheerleaders. AFL was the first ones to have sideline shows. AFL was murking the NFL. And when Al Davis was sent on a false business trip by the AFL to this part of the country, the AFL merged with the NFL on that part of the country. Al Davis was pissed to the day that he died. And Al Davis he had to sue the NFL so he could take the team to Los Angeles. Remember that? A lot of you guys don't remember that. He had to sue. Man, NFL didn't matter how high profile or how amazing Al Davis was as a coach or owner. Protect the shield at all times. When it comes to the Illuminati and all these other groups, protect the shield at all times. Everybody's disposable, because this needs to run through generations. This needs to run through generations. So for one person to lose all that they have so the shield can survive, so be it. Nobody's too high profile for secret societies. Not on that level. Nobody. Everybody's expendable for the survival of the society. He said that video has too much momentum. No way that he ends up with less than 30. I can see that. That's what my window of time is for him too. If Diddy get less than 30, I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised. I'm with you on that one, 40. Shout out to you. If he get less than 30, I'd be surprised. There's too much going against him. Let's go back to the video. Shout out to you, 40.
But when they come out with some charges, bro, and you hit it, the Southern District of New York do not play, and people don't play with them. So I don't understand why this stuff ever even got to this point, but it is what it is. It is what it is, bro. The reason they haven't came down and got him yet, they going through his taxes. You hear what he said? They had all the people that he did business with. That they're going to go through everything that he did with a fine-tooth comb. And when they set that and they get what they call discovery to his lawyers, he either say, I'm going to take the time, because if he go to court with it, 9 times out of 10, he going to spend the rest of his life behind bars. The reason they haven't did it at this point, it's a lot of paperwork, bro. They got a lot of...
He ain't never lied. See, we as individuals, we're looking at the cases from this perspective of, okay, let's look at Diddy, and he did this to Cassidy, he did this to these individuals and that individuals. We're looking at it from that perspective. Feds are saying, okay, we got that. They've got a team that are looking at it from the business side. What else can we get Diddy on the business side? Not only the what he's done to individuals, but what he's done as a businessman. So we forget to think about how those indictments are going to come out too. Because if all of this falls apart, which we know it won't, Fed's got a backup plan. Okay, what about all this on the business side? And me personally, this is just Andre's theory, my hypothesis, my alleged. I think that all of this side, the personal side, is nothing but a shadow of what he's actually has done on the business side. I think that they're coming after him on the business side even harder, but we don't hear about it. And I think that this personal side that we're seeing all these videos and stuff about and Diddy parties and all this, I think that this is plan B. We're looking at it as plan A, but from my federal court and federal prison experience, I bet you the business side was what caught fire and was catching fire behind the scenes that's going to come out soon. Watch what happens. All of this, I believe that is plan B, just in case the business side don't work out. I believe that they're going to just go with Cassie and all these other people and just shut Diddy down and put him in life for 30 plus years anyway. But I think that this is the plan B that they're putting out there. But I really believe the plan A is the business side. Let's see what we can find on him on taxes. What can we find on conspiracy? What can we find about money laundering? What can we find about drugs? What can we find about artillery? All of this, the business side. I think that once they get done with the investigation of this, watch what comes out. That's what's gonna blow your mind. All of this, plan Bs. This easy convictions. All cast somebody get on the stand and pointing at Diddy, that's easy. That's easy conviction. We know that he gonna get caught up on with all these people. Bishop Jakes get on the stand. Yes, it was Diddy. Cassie get on the stand. Yes, it was Diddy. All the people that he slept with. Yes, it was Diddy. Meek Mills get on the stand. Yes, it was Diddy. All these people get on the stand. Jay-Z get on the stand. Beyonce pushing them. Girl, stop it, B. Oh, yes, it was Diddy. That's easy. The part that the feds always want is money. They don't want to walk away broke. Okay. The feds are so greedy, bro. I'm going to tell you something in all sincerity. They are so greedy that they would take a dude that's worth 700 million and will not, they refuse to give him 30 years and still be worth 700 million. See, if they do all this over here, most of this has nothing to do with Diddy's money, right? So he could get 30 years and still have his money. Feds don't work like that. That's plan B. All we're seeing on TV, plan B. Plan A is, how do we get the 700 million that this brother's got? That's what the feds are doing. So just in case you wonder why Diddy's still walking the streets, because of that. Not because of this. You could put out 50 videos on Cassie. Feds don't give a damn about those videos. They're like, that's a plan B. We'll get to it. We're investigating and we got all that. They ran up in that house to get as much as they can on Diddy for that 700 million. If we lock you up for 30 years, you're going to be broke. We need that money in our budget. 700 million could do a lot of things. Your little boat, we could use your boat to investigate somebody else. Your little house in Miami on that little island of millionaires, we could use that house. We could sell it. We could use those proceeds. Yeah. That's how the feds work, man. They don't give a dang about Diddy beating up on some chick. Diddy having sex with some men. I don't care nothing about that. Diddy throwing some party. Do you think the feds give a dang about? Dude, if the feds locked up everybody that threw some parties in California or in New York or in the Napa Valley and all those areas, man, you know how many people would be locked up? No. Feds are like this. That's plan B. We're trying to get your money, bro. And we're going to get you. Ain't no way in hell they're going to have Diddy get convicted because of Cassidy, do about 20 years, but yet he's still worth $700 million. Y'all crazy. Feds are like this. We want every single dime that we can get from this dude. They may leave Diddy. I'm going to be honest. They'll leave Diddy after attorney fees and all that. They'll leave Diddy with about a good 20 mil, right? He won't be broke, but 20 mil. But he'll be in jail for dang near the rest of his life because he's older like we are. So 30 years will put Diddy at like 80s. See what I'm saying? This ain't like it happened in his 20s where he gets out in his 60s. but they ain't gonna let him go to jail and still be worth $700 million. Y'all, no. That's not. They don't work like that in the feds. In the feds, they coming for that money, and they coming for you. You ain't gonna be powerful and still be in the fed. Please, ask John Gotti. Ask all them dudes that was with me that was part of the Colombian cartel, the Medellin cartel, the Bogota cartel, the Cali cartel. Ask them dudes. Ask all those NFL players that went to jail. Ask all those senators that went to jail. Man, feds got their money. Left them with about $5 million. I'm gonna leave you $5 million. And then they don't tell you this. Once you get out of the feds, I forgot about this part. Once you get out the fed, they have like, I forgot what is the fine. Okay, so here it is. P. Diddy, let's use Diddy as an example. Diddy gets 20 years. Let's say 20 or 30. That's 30 years. We're going to stick with 30 years. Then when you get out, Diddy will be sitting on a 45 or a 65 or even a $100 million fine that you have to pay when you get out. You don't even pay on this fine while you in. You have to have that fine money when you get, bruh. I know some dudes in the feds, man, they fines like, you owe what when you get out? Yeah, and they fined me. They fined me $16 million. I'm only worth $18 million. So what you saying is you only got $2 million to take care of yourself for the rest of your life when you get out. Boo, mother, who? Am I supposed to cry for you because you got $2 million and I ain't got that? They fined me. I kid you not, bruh. I mean that I forgot about the federal fine. When you get caught up and you got money and the feds want your money, they not only want money before the case, they not, in other words, while you're dealing with your attorneys and everybody else, once you get convicted, they take a certain amount of money, which is part of the plea bargain. And after you get out while you're on probation, you have to pay a monthly fine. Yeah. They don't never. I told y'all tonight's episode is all the stuff that you never hear about what Diddy is going to be going through. I told y'all this is not about Diddy. This episode is about making sure that we don't get in our own ways when life is taking us in a good direction. All you passport bros, all you blue book gentlemen, all you expats, all you digital nomads, all you guys that are taking IT classes, you're studying and you're making sure that you're on point. So when you leave Colombia, you got your online job or online business. All you dudes that are in real estate, I'm telling you guys now, you're preparing yourself for your exodus outside the United States. Don't get in your own damn way. Because that's all Diddy, this whole thing is about Diddy. The whole thing, he was getting in his own way. Trump, a man that got in his own way. A man that got in his own way. Trump had The Apprentice. He had his businesses. He had his debts. But he was basically just focusing on his reality shows. Went to a presidential dinner. You can backtrack this. Barack Obama stands up to speak. And remember, Trump was the one that was doing the, I don't believe Barack Obama is American. Show the birth certificate. We need a birth certificate. Right? Barack is on the mic, finally. And he responds to Trump and destroys Trump on the microphone. They say that was the moment, or one of the major moments where Trump said, I'm running for president. F that. Remember, for years he had been hinting at it anyway, but never really did it. So nobody was like, oh, he's just talking. After Obama destroyed him during that presidential dinner, that's when Trump went on social media, went full out on Obama and start getting traction among followers. And by the time he decided officially to run for president, now look at all this hell that Trump is going through because he got emotional at a dinner. He became president. Yes, he did. But look at all hell that's broke loose in his own private life since he's become president. I bet you Trump I wish I could go back to the good old days when I was on The Apprentice and I could just tell people they was fired. If I was Trump, man, I'd be sitting back in the rocking chair like, man, I wish I could just go back to the way that it was. It was just me on The Apprentice, me and my crazy wife, me and my mistresses, and I'm just good. I'm good. I got money and I'm playing golf. Ain't nobody bothering me. Why the hell did I run for president? Because ever since I've been president, all hell has broke loose in the country and in my private life. Getting in your own way. When you are getting ready to move to another country, guys, please, one of the biggest tips I can give you, don't get in your own way while you're still in the States, bro. Don't do it here, but please don't mess up your opportunity to relocate while you're in the States.
People working different angles. They got the drug angle. They got the tax angle. They got the, what else? They say the drugs, the tax, and then they got the guns that were found. They got to do a trace on the guns.
Yep.
That they were found in the house.
That's how they
and
did it.
And then if you got 250 cameras, there's a lot of footage that them agents got to go through. So they got a lot of work to do, bro. They got a lot of work.
Shout out to the Razors journey.
But they took how many years to indict Keefe D? They took a lot of years to indict Keefe D. And now he's sitting in jail. So they got a lot of work to do, bro. And it ain't gonna happen overnight. So I would think that probably in the next two months or so, you might be looking at something, bro.
At least
and you said that Diddy, he got over 250 cameras?
He had over 200. They found over 250 cameras in his house, man.
So you do believe that Diddy is going to prison?
Oh, he going to jail, bro. And yo, and I don't wish jail on nobody, on the for real. I don't wish jail on nobody. You understand? But they already got their star witness. And you only, for one charge, for the sex trafficking, you only need one witness.
That's it.
One witness. That's crazy. I don't believe R. Kelly. You see what they did to R. Kelly? He went to jail for sex trafficking. He was dating those girls. Those girls was living at his house. Those girls was going back and forth with him willfully. How the hell did he get sex trafficking?
Additionally, there might be ongoing investigations by law enforcement agencies aimed at verifying the authenticity of the audio and gathering further evidence too. But really, at the end of the day, man, ain't nobody surprised that Diddy and Jay-Z gay for each other.
We're going to stop that right there. We're going to pause that one right there before we go any further. This is Diddy snatching the mic from Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber, aka the Bibbs, has been revealed to be groomed by Diddy with the aid of Usher. Bieber has...
We're going to stop that right, that particular one right there. I thought I deleted that part, in all sincerity. Let me go here. Yeah, that was it. That was it for the video. And so, well, let me make sure. Let me double check. I thought I deleted the back of the video, but I guess I didn't. Yep, that was it. That was the end of that. He said that he ended with that there are going to be several type of indictments that might come down in the next few months, allegedly. Do realize, guys, that Diddy is done. Done. Let's say Diddy doesn't get convicted of anything. Let's say he gets convicted of nothing. He walks away. he's already been convicted in the court of public opinion. No sponsor will touch Diddy. I'll say this again. He's already been let go of being one of the major board members of Revolt, the television station that he's established. So he's been let go of that. He's already outside of the umbrella of Ciroc. They've already, his situation with Ciroc did not unfold the way that he wanted it to. So he's not with Ciroc. There is no, his record labels, let's be honest. All Diddy is a residual income. He hasn't produced any music as of late, even though he has a team of producers, but he hasn't produced anything on the Bad Boy where we could say, man, that reminds me of classic Diddy, classic remix. The court of public, if he doesn't get any federal convictions at all, the court of public opinion has already said, you already canceled, bruh. What sponsors are going to go back to Diddy? At least sponsors say, at least Adidas realize, listen, Kanye may be crazy, but Kanye ain't dangerous. Let's get Kanye back. At least Adidas knew Kanye's not crazy. I mean, Kanye is crazy, but he ain't dangerous. And I don't even think Kanye is crazy, but that's what they're saying. And they got Kanye back. They're not going to do that with Diddy. Any sponsorship that's been worked with Diddy is done. Okay, let's talk about his clothing line. Bruh, you get Sean John clothing line at discounts at TJ Maxx and at where else? Burlington Coat Factory. Shout out to Burlington Coat Factory. Diddy ain't making it like that. Everybody is falling off of Diddy, man. It's done. It's done. Diddy is done, whether be convicted or not. He's done. Man, you know what? If I was Diddy, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I already know that I'm the arch villain number one. I'm public enemy number one, way more than Chuck D, right? And Flavor Flav. I'm public enemy. Y'all don't like me. I got these videos out showing me put my hands on a young lady. I might as well go to Bali. What's the worst that could happen? Y'all don't like me for going to Bali? Y'all don't like me anyway. I ain't gonna lie. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. By now they probably got his passport and everything, but that first flight out a couple months ago, oh no. I told y'all I would have been like the last scene of Shawshank Redemption when Morgan Freeman walked up on my man while he was cleaning the bottom of the boat. When Morgan Freeman showed up on the coast of Mexico, walking through the sands in the end of Shawshank Redemption. That would have been me walking up on Russell Simmons. I'm not staying in the States because to get so y'all can like me. Y'all don't like me anyway. I've been shown on video put my hands on a woman that didn't deserve me putting her hands on her. I'm already a villain in y'all eyes anyway. Can't be no more villain than a free villain. What would you rather be? Let's be all honest. Would you rather be a convicted villain or a free villain in Bali? I'd rather be a free villain. I'm like Dr. Doom in Marvel comic books. I'm gonna have my own little island. I'm out. I get a Feds $500 million to leave me alone, or I wouldn't get a Feds a dime and I give me I leave on a submarine. I leave as a stowaway on a ship, on a freighter ship. I don't care. I'm out. I know they got my bank accounts frozen, but they don't have my international bank accounts frozen. I'm out. I am out. And maybe I won't be able to bring with me. I might not be able to bring with me 500 million. Let's say I'm only able to bring with me 10 million, 15 million. Guess what? It don't take 15 million to go fishing in Bali. I'm fishing in Bali. like I said, right now, you got individuals like Russell Simmons saying, couldn't be me. Remember, they was coming for Russell Simmons. Russell like, y'all crazy, I'm out. The last time y'all saw Russell, when was it? It was the Def Jam celebration. 25 years of Def Jam. Def Jam, the comedy show. 25-year anniversary of all the people, all the comedians that came up through Def Jam. After that day, ain't nobody seen Russell. Ain't nobody seen Russell Simmons. Man, please. That would be me. If I would be a villain, and dude, it was hard enough for me to do 10 years. Man, doing 10 years in the feds, man, I felt like I was born in the feds. Me and another brother looked at each other one day. He said, Drake, I got a question for you. I was like, what's up, brother? He said, do you feel like you was born in this motherland? And I ain't gonna even lie. I didn't even think about it. Bruh, I was just on year 7. And I felt like I was born inside of a federal penitentiary because that much of life will pass you by. Campbell's soup, when I went in, wasn't the same Campbell's soup 7 years later. Computers, when I went in, wasn't even computers 7 years later. Cell phones, at that time period, when I went in, the little flip phones, and we had the little pagers. Think about it. I went in during the era of the pagers. The pagers were no longer, and that was just 7 years into my 10-year bid. So when we say we felt like we were born there, is because so much of life on the outside had changed. Barry Sanders was now the running back. Dude, I went in at the end of Earl Campbell and Walter Payton. Barry was not a thing. I went in when the leader of talk show was Oprah Winfrey. Just 7 years into my bit, Jerry Springer eclipsed Oprah Winfrey. The world changed. And that was just me having a 10-year bit to do. Could you imagine having to do 30 years or 40 years like Diddy or Bernie Madoff? Why do you think Bill Cosby's so glad that he's free? Because I know dudes with 64, 65, 72, 73 years. And bruh, doing 10 years was enough. And when you got an L, man, I'm telling y'all, bruh. I'm telling y'all, the world changes so fast that by the time you get out, think about it, by the time Diddy get out, it will be electric taxis and Uber will not need to pay one driver. All Uber money will be 100% profit without a driver. I'm going to say that again. For those that don't know, for the most part, Uber has not made a major profit from the time of its inception. Not one. When they get down paying the shareholders and everybody else, Uber does not sit on a major profit. Why? Then why does it exist? Uber is sitting and waiting for the time when we get to the point where we start trusting electric cars. Uber say, I will wait 40 years for people to get electric cars and self-driving vehicles and trust self-driving vehicles. And once they get and they trust self-driving vehicles, guess what's going to happen? All the Uber drivers, it will still be Uber cars, and they don't have to pay a driver because most of the cars will be self-driving. Uber is thinking that far down the road. That far down the road. What's my point? That's how much life can change when you're in the federal penitentiaries. I went in to DJ Quick and Heavy D. I get out to Cash Money millionaires. I want you guys to think about how many rappers came between Heavy D, Dilla, and Guy. I went in on the first song of Boys to Men. Boys to Men, ABC, BBD. That song just came out. I'm MCC Miami. I'm not MCC Chicago, the federal prison, waiting for my conviction. I get home. I missed all that 90s music, all of it. All that Cream, Get the Money, Dollar Bill. I missed all that. All of that. None, I ain't see none of that. None of that. All your Mary J. Blige, I had to listen to Mary J. Blige, kid you not. When they finally started letting us listen to CDs in the feds, I could finally listen to Mary J. Blige. Now, do we have headphones and all that stuff? Yes. But if you're not in a federal penitentiary close to a good radio station, you're in Allentown, Pennsylvania, up in the hills, up in the mountains, above the clouds. You are not getting a black hip hop station. Bruh, there at that time period in the 90s, there were federal prisons that you could only get hip hop played once a week on Saturdays. That's what the radio stations that were closer to you, that was closest to you, played. They played hip hop once a week. So you got your headphones, you got your batteries, you listen, you ready, you walking through the compound trying to get any type of hip hop or R&B. You so happy that they sending you through Chicago. But bro, I'll never forget. I'm being transferred from Milan, Michigan to Terre Haute, Indiana. Shout out to Terre Haute. And that's where University of Indiana is, right? They transferred me from Milan, Michigan, and I ended up going to MCC Chicago, so they flew me to MCC Chicago, and then they flew me to Milan, Michigan, bruh. And I was able to listen to some headphones and listen to music in Chicago. I was like a little kid listening to R&B on a regular basis. Because Milan, Michigan got some of Detroit music, but it didn't get enough Detroit music. So all of hip hop really just passed me by in the 90s. I ain't getting no Nelly. I ain't getting none of that stuff. I got early 2000s. I guess I got Nelly. But some of the hip hop of the 90s, that was the golden era of hip hop, I didn't experience none of that. None of it. So just imagine being Diddy looking at 30 years. 30 years. My man DJ Davis, shout out to you, brother. DJ Davis said they used against him. Yes, they did. That's a good way of putting it, brother. I like how you did that. Diddy's lifestyle. They used the laws, just the regular laws, and they used the ladies against him. What's my point of this live stream? I'm about to let you guys go because I don't want to hold you up too much this night. And you got other YouTubers that you want to check out. My point in saying all this tonight, and I'm a living example. Forget about Diddy. Just look at your boy in the camera. Do not interrupt the flow of positivity where your life is heading. Don't get in your way like I did. Don't get in your way like Bertie Murdoch did. If your life is going good, take your time. And don't get in your own way like Diddy is doing. Like I mentioned when I first started this live stream, this show is not about Diddy. I care less about what's going on with Diddy. I care about us dudes, especially those of you that are planning to relocate, or you like, let's say you ain't relocating, but you like to visit other countries. Don't get in your own way. Don't be going out there just shooting up the club and some female in the States, knowing that eventually you don't want to live in the States. Don't do that, bro. Don't be Nick Cannon, okay? Okay. Don't be Nick Cannon. I'm telling you, man, you guys are some amazing men, amazing women. There's the few women that are watching. And life has plans for you that will blow you away. But the one thing that will interrupt all of that, that will deter all that will put all that to the side is, or defer also, all that is you getting in your own damn way. Don't do it. It's not worth it. She's not worth it. If you on monk mode, stay on monk mode. Monk mode, in other words, means that your sex life is outside the United States. I don't care if you got to fly outside the United States every other weekend. You got to shoot down to Mexico or Cancun somewhere, Cancun or the Caribbean. I don't care, but don't get in your way. If you are sleeping with somebody in the States and you plan on moving out of the States eventually, or you travel, dude, condom that thing up. I don't like the way condoms feel. I don't like child support. Which one you don't like? You got to pick your poison. Pick your pain, brother. Pick your pain. Pick your pain. The fact that you don't like condom, or the fact that you don't like money come out of your paycheck every week for child support. Pick your pain. You're going to have a pain. Oh, yes, you will. Yes, you will. You a man. You Robert De Niro and my man could still prove that you can still have babies. Al Pacino in their 80s. Both these dudes just had kids. You a man. Pick your pain. Child support or a condom. If you're going to still be smashing chicks in the States, you have to pick your pain. You can't have everything your way. You're a man. Life ain't fair. I'm going to say it again. For some of us that didn't know have our daddies or our uncles around to let us see the example or see how it is or tell us, I'm going to let you know now as your brother, life ain't going to never be fair for a man. There is no moment in life where life is fair for a man. That's why we're men, because we're always up for the challenge. We wake up in the morning waiting for a challenge. We built for challenges. Like Kevin Samuel said, challenges, problems, heartaches, headaches are made for shoulders, not for hips. Women break doing heartache, headaches. You know, one of the things that Andrea loves about me the most, I have been through so many trials of life that the average trial that breaks somebody else don't even move me. I'm so solution oriented that I go through the initial shock of like, oh man, there's a problem. And after that, like 40 seconds, I'm focused on the solution. Even when the problem is trying to say, but I'm a problem and I am here to stay. And I'll be like, so cool. And I focus on the solution and bam, we're good within the next day or two. And Andrea loves that. She loves that she got a man that if an issue comes up, she gets to panic, but I'm focusing on the solution. Why? Because we're men. And we already know life ain't fair. It ain't fair to Diddy. It ain't fair to you. It ain't fair to nobody. So since it's not fair, don't get in your own way. You already got enough coming against you as a man. You already have enough coming against you as a man. There is enough people in society that do not like men, manly men like you gentlemen are. They don't even like us anymore. We're not the end trend. We're not the end thing. We are endangered species, men that are like us. Why do you think I always say that we're saber-toothed tigers? Because we are the endangered species. They don't want us to exist. Men like us, why do you think they have so many men right now? I'm a psychologist. And for men, if you only tap into your feminine energy and combine that with your masculine energy, now you're a real man. Motherfucker, how you gonna try to tell me that modern day American men in a country that's not even 400 years old gonna try to tell me, who's the offspring of countries of men that are thousands of years old, that it was no problem with the type of man that I am, and then I just so happen to be born in the United States, and the United States version of a man is wrong. But the other 96% of the planet, because the United States population only makes up 4% of the planet, so the other 96% of the planet, they don't know what being a man is. But only the United States knows when you put your femininity and your masculinity together, now you're a man. I ain't got no fucking femininity to give. Life ain't fair. My wife is not looking for me to have some damn femininity. To be caring, yes. To be understanding, yes. To listen, yes. But to be fucking feminine, no. 96% of the women in the world are not looking for y'all to tap into no damn feminine energy. Y'all in the States be believing that stuff, that stupid stuff. That's y'all. That's your country, 'tis of thee. I love the United States, and a lot of us do, but I'm letting you know now, no other country in the world are asking you to tap into damn feminine energy and masculine energy. That's the United States putting out that bullshit, and now they got men, or my bad, males, going on TikTok, YouTube. I'm a therapist for men, and I believe that a man should. No, hell, fuck no. To the day that I die, you will never see me tap into no fucking feminine energy. The only feminine energy that's supposed to walk around your house is your woman. If you ain't got no woman walk around your house, it's supposed to be 100% masculine male energy. Why? You need it. Why? Because for males, life ain't fair. And since life ain't fair, you need to have that ability of masculinity to overcome things that feminine women would break if it happened to them. You got women on TikTok right now. I don't want to work anymore. I need me a man to take care of me. You got women on TikTok. Why y'all sit back talking about drizzle? We want to sprinkle. In other words, we want you guys to work hard to make all the money, and we could just get the proceeds because we're pretty. Women can't do what the fuck we do with all that feminine energy. They can't handle what we handle. You got a dude right now, tonight, at the bottom of the ocean, right now, welding for $20,000 a month. You got dudes right now on oil rigs in the middle of the ocean, in the middle, ain't got nothing but starlights. One mistake, they're done. You got dudes right now that are fishing off the coast of for lobster and shrimp, all that off the coast of Australia, knowing that their ship could turn over with one wave. And you want to tell these men that are firemen and policemen and all these other men to tap into their feminine. Bitch, if you are you trying to tell us men to tap into feminine energy? Are you crazy? And I'm talking to men that are strong personalities, and I'm even talking to us brothers. I don't know what that is. I'm even talking to us brothers that look like a gnat or something. You know how you get distracted by a gnat? Like, go on somewhere, gnat. And I'm even talking to us brothers that have a laid back personality, and you don't be in people's face like that, but you just laid back, you cool, you chill, you just relaxed person. You just as manly as the rest of us. Don't never think because your personality is not as outgoing and animated as some of us that your personality is not as masculine as the rest of all. Some of the most masculine dudes are the quiet dudes. Y'all better sit your ass back. Quiet dudes that hurt you. Like we always say, you better watch out for the quiet dude. Us dude with the big mouths, you ain't really got to worry about us. But when we get quiet or another quiet dude get up on you, now you're in trouble. I'm one of them dudes, I talk a lot. Yes, I do. But when it's time to rumble or when you get on my last nerve, Andre is the quietest dude that you ever met. That's how you know somebody got on my nerve or I don't like them. When you sit back, you see everybody laughing and kiki kind, and Andre quiet, Andre don't fuck with him. Why? I know Andre. Why? He quiet. And Andre usually is like the loud mouth. And when he gets quiet, he don't fuck with you. You sure? That's Andre, bro. A real man gets quiet or is naturally quiet when he don't fuck with everybody. When he don't fuck with everybody, real dudes ain't, man, fuck, I do this to that talking before fighting, I never was one of them dudes. Never, ain't nobody ever got me on record of ever cussing somebody out before I got into a fight. No. I get real quiet and let's go. That was always me. Get real quiet, let's go. Either I'm gonna win or you gonna win. But all that talking back and forth, oh bitch ass nigga, if you get them, You sounded like your mama. We talking too much, bruh. Let's get this over with and get back to our drinks. I never was one of those dudes. Nobody ever would get me on record talking greasy to some other dude. Man, what F you? You call me what? What F you? No, no. Hell no. Hell no. No. Life ain't fair. Get it through your mind. You're a male. You were born put on this planet on an unfair country with an unfair opportunity in an unfair world. Life ain't fair. Suck that up. You're a man. You was born for this. You were born for this. You were born for this. Bread. Your body was built for everything that's not fair. Snow shoveling. Your body was built for that. Going out there in the oil rigs. Your body was built for that. Dealing with fires as a firefighter, your body was built for that. Being able to drive your truck miles longer than women can, your body was built for that. Able to lift more than a woman can, your body was built for that. Being logical to be able to investigate crimes and stuff like that, your mind and your body was built for that. Not having emotions, but not being an emotionalist. Your mind and your body was built for that. Being able to I forgot how to pronounce it correctly. Compartmentalize. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I know I did. I tore it up. But to categorize subjects, matters, issues into their own compartments. Compartmentalize. I got it. You were built for that. Women don't compartmentalize none of that. Everything. Women think with both sides of the brain. Men think on one side at a time. We know how to separate what side of the brain is for this and what side of the brain is for that. Women brains that's what we call women scatterbrains. That's what the term scatterbrain means. It means that they think on both sides of the brain at the same time. That's nothing bad because we need women. But what I'm saying is you were built because life is not fair. You were built for that. You were built for it's not fair that to lift up. Dude, you think taking out the garbage is fair? You think being a traditional man and paying all the bills is fair? You think driving through that rush hour traffic to work and think of driving back is fair? You think when all the family is asleep, come on, all you northerners, do you really think that when all the family is sleep and it's 3:30 or 4:30, 5:30 in the morning and it snowed like crazy last night and you got to pull out the salt, you got to pull out the snow plow, or you got to go out there and shovel for 3 hours while it's still snowing. You got to scrape the cars off. You got to scrape the front of the street so the school bus doesn't slide when the kids get ready to get on in the morning. You think that's fair? When it comes to paying taxes, if you're a single man, you barely get any tax breaks. You think that's fair? The fact that you have to pay child support like crazy in the United States, and yet she can still keep the house, keep the cars, and she got dudes like how I used to be banging her back in the house that you paid in. Do you think that's fair? You were built for unfairness. Life is rarely fair for males. I don't care what country you're in. One thing that we've all learned about being a man in these countries is one thing. If we ain't learned nothing else, life ain't fair for many men in many countries. It ain't just us in the States. You were built for this. This is what you were built for. When life is fair, but you were really built to overcome when life is not fair. So therefore, don't get in your own damn way, Diddies. It's hard enough for the Diddies to accomplish what we already accomplished. Don't get in your way after you accomplish your goals. After you've been in the military for all those years and you've made it to retirement and you've got 100% retirement or disability, don't F it up. Don't get in your own way. If you finally bought that piece of those 2-3 piece of properties, they're going to take care of you while you move to another country. Don't F that up. If you're almost about to graduate with your IT classes, your cybersecurity classes, or whatever it is, don't get distracted in the last few months before you graduate. Get your certifications. Don't F it up, and don't get somebody pregnant in the United States if you don't plan on living in the United States. Don't get in your own way, because this whole story with Diddy is just a tale of a man that got in his own way. Let's get ready to head up out of here, guys. Let me get the last super chat. He said, big bruh, speaking facts, most countries don't push men to have feminine ways. They don't. Andrea will tell you all day long, I'm going to tell you one of the ways you could piss my wife off. Talk like that. If you are a man and you talk about having feminine energy and masculine energy, you will piss my wife off. My wife is not looking for me to have the long beard and having a axe over my shoulder. That's not just masculinity. There are some of us white collar as well as blue collar brothers that are just as masculine. But my wife expects me, no matter what the expectations of masculinity is, she expects me to be masculine. She says this, and I see this, and I talk to other Colombian women. They say, because you being masculine allow us to own, celebrate, and enjoy 100% femininity. Y'all can have all the masculine. That's y'all. That's y'all men. Have it. It's y'all. That's why Colombian women, even you can go to a McDonald's and you will see the most feminine McDonald's worker that you ever saw in your life. Why? Because the men own the masculine part and the ladies own the femininity. That's why Spanish is broken down into 2 parts: masculine words and feminine words. That's how much we don't have that in English in the United States. There are no words that are masculine in the United States and then they turn feminine in the United States. No, it's just words in the United States. In Spanish, you got words that are mainly masculine, and you got words, not all, but many words that are mainly feminine. So at the end of the day, guys, we're built for this, and our women expect this of us in other countries. And if you don't want to be 100% masculine, and like I said, masculinity is not a lumberjack only, but there are others that are white collar, and there are guys that are in their 80s that are super masculine. If you don't want to be 100% masculine, keep your tail in the States, because you can celebrate in the States the fact that you could be a percentage of you is feminine and the other part is masculine. And you bring them both together, and now you can have a healthy relationship. Notice this before I let you guys go. Have you ever seen one YouTube video that said it benefits women to have a masculine side and it benefits you to have a feminine side? And you bring those parts together, ladies, and you are a perfect woman. Have you ever seen the YouTube video that said that? Ever? TikTok. The counselor, any counselors, any therapist come on, any doctor that came on and said, ladies, here's your problems. You are not enough. You're not walking in your masculine energy enough. See, if ladies, you grasp hold of your masculine energy and cover that with your feminine energy, you'd be a perfect. They don't tell women that, do they? Ever. Have you ever seen it? I ain't never seen it. Ever. Now ask yourself, how many videos have you seen on Instagram, TikTok, and every place else trying to convince men if you take your masculinity and you wrap it with a little bit of femininity, now you a perfect man? All day long. We've been saying that for years, for almost 40 years. They've been telling us, tap into your damn femininity that ain't even there. And then they look at us crazy for not, your masculine. You know what your problem is? Your masculinity is toxic. Okay. And what is your femininity? Have you ever heard of toxic femininity? Ever? Have you ever heard of somebody say, oh, yeah, man, I met this female, man, she got toxic femininity. She's just too damn feminine. She out here cooking, cleaning. She making sure my feet taken care of. She too feminine. She washing my clothes. She actually folded them. She too feminine. She actually out here praying for the family, fasting and everything. She's reading her Bible and other mind development books, motivational books. She's just too feminine for me, bro. That's toxic. She is just too feminine. She keeps her mouth closed in public. In other words, she doesn't just blare off things. She wait. If she has a disagreement, she waits till she gets to the house, man. That is just too damn feminine for me. You ain't never heard of toxic femininity, have you? Ever. It don't even sound right for somebody to be feminine and toxic at the same time. You know, this heifer over here is toxic because she ain't feminine. She toxic because she ain't feminine. But then when it comes to you dudes, my country 'tis of thee. That was a hype, so we'll bring it back down. My country 'tis of thee. They want to tell you your masculinity is toxic. But yet you're in a country with equal rights. Okay, guys, I'm up out of here. My name is Andre of Andre and Andre's Love Crossing Borders. I hope this encouraged you guys to make sure that you don't get in your own way like our brother Diddy. Hopefully, you know that he's going to jail. This is going to happen. This is going down the turnpike. All the signs are there. But hopefully he learns the lessons. Hopefully he puts things in order. And like I said, if it was me, I'd have been gone anyway. If I'm going to be a villain, I'm going to give y'all a real reason to be a villain. I'm gone. I don't know any other YouTuber going to tell y'all I'm out. If I'm Diddy, I'm in Dubai. Goodbye, I'm in Dubai. And if Dubai sends about to send me somewhere back to the States, I am in Bali. I ain't gonna lie. I'm out. I'm already the villain anyway. Y'all don't like me. Y'all don't care nothing about me. I am out. Yep, slow boat to Bali. I take that slow boat like it was 1823. I will be on the slowest boat out to Bali. You right. You are right, my brother. Simon says, slow boat. Man, please, I'll be on the, that would be me, stowaway. Man, I'll be on a boat with Gilligan before I go to the Feds. I will be on a boat with Gilligan. And you know Gilligan get lost anyway. I'll be on a boat with Gilligan. If I'll be lost on an island, it'd be Andre, the professor, Gilligan, Mary Ann, Ginger. See what I'm saying? I kid you. Man, listen, the millionaires and his wife. Kid y'all not, I'll be on a boat with Gilligan before you catch me standing in front of a judge talk about your aunt. Man, please. Please. That black plane wouldn't have been empty. Bet that. It would have been empty like when we landed. Man, I'd have parachuted somewhere before they got me. Ain't no way in hell I'm about to sit up there and try to save face for them. Okay, all right. All right, for an indictment that I know I ain't gonna win. All right, go ahead. That's that ego. That's that ego. I'm with my brother right here. Shout out to you guys. You guys, he's a transgender, has a masculine energy and a feminine energy. Yeah, that's their world. Shout out to LBGTQ. That's their world. But as for us everyday mere mortals, regular men, man, the rest of the world want us to be just 100% just regular dudes, man. Regular dudes. That's the one thing that I hear more from Colombian women. They just want us American dudes to just be regular dudes. All that trying to blend masculine and feminine energy, they're like, man, you ain't got to do all that. I do the feminine side in the house. You do the masculine side, and we good. We good. Andre will sit up there and say, Andre will sit up there and finish cook in the middle of cooking. She said, babe, I've got groceries in the car. You need to go get them. Well, that's what men do. We carry the heavy bags. I've got work to do. Life ain't fair. Get your ass down there, Andre, and carry those heavy bags. That's what you got these muscles and all these arms for. Get your ass down there, carry those heavy bags. That woman should not be carrying those heavy bags if she's sitting there cooking. She's doing her part. It's time for you to get your happy ass up, Andre, and do your part. Go get those grocery bags out the truck now. I know that. That's my job. Masculine jobs. My DNA and my body structure, just like you guys, are made for carrying groceries, made for being out there with the snow shovel. We made for that. Got your woman out there with a snow shovel. No, we know we made for that. He said, give me a feminine Colombiana. Yep. ASAP. Seriously. Shout out to you guys once again. Peace. I'm up out of here. Make sure you guys click that like button on the way out. We got the colognes. Once again, all you got to do if you want to get some great colognes at a great discount. I got some good discounts on there too. All you got to do is after the all you got to do is just push the X on your cell phone. The chat will drop down and you'll see all the colognes that are for sale. Shout out to you guys. I'm up out of here. I'll probably watch somebody else's live stream. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow morning. I got a live stream they're going to be doing tomorrow morning and right around 12 o'clock Eastern. And then I've got one we're going to be doing, Andre and I, on Sunday. So shout out to you guys being here. We're up out of here. Oh, we got to do the drink break. Yeah. I was about to just walk up out of here and I had a gentleman's drink break. Hold on for a second. Hold on. Let me let you guys enjoy the new one, the new thickness.